highest strength.
Oh,
Okay,
burn through
that
that
makes
pallet
sense.
quickly.
you just gave me an idea for my next. I forgot that wild magic sorcerers were a thing. I gotta build one of those.
I've always wanted to play a wild magic sorcerer, but I'll be honest, I'm afraid of it.
I'm not. I'm all for it.
That could get
I'd be worried
crazy.
about-
You never know.
I
I'm worried
always,
about what I'd do to my party members.
I always want a wild magic search to go off.
Oh,
Okay, it
man.
looks like we ironed out the technical difficulties and we're back live here. So
Nice.
sorry for the little hang up
Welcome,
there.
viewers.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to the Heroes Era, Session 6. Do the heroes want to recap what happened last time and introduce themselves?
Sure.
Why don't we start with Xandyr?
Sure. Hi, I'm Jason. I'll be playing Xandyr. He's a half elf bard, dual wielding, crossbow slinging, spell slinging, badass. Trying to write songs about our travels and just not die.
Indeed. And next then will be Vincent.
Yes, Vincent, the Fallen Azamar warlock, with a past that he doesn't really talk about, and a whole slew of abilities that he's still discovering for himself. Just tagging along and being wherever is his best chance of staying alive.
All right. And Silverado.
Hi, I'm Bodhi. I'll be playing Silverado, the wood elf monk. Came from the forest, way out of his element in civilization, as you can tell by his -8 or 8 charisma. And a lot of stuff has happened to him on his journey. He's got a bunch of stories to tell, which is why he's so wise.
Very nice. Very nice. And does somebody want to recap where we left off last session?
I have notes.
Yeah, we took down our dares.
Pretty
You
much.
did.
As,
Yeah.
The Battle of Hawkins Farm.
Yeah,
Indeed,
as
indeed.
agreed upon with Condrazul, and now, now we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just gotta clean up the mess that we've made.
We made a militia out of some people that were around. We put some
Yeah.
traps down. And
a lot of plotting and scheming.
yeah, we shot a bunch of dudes with bows, and I ran up and punched our dares out, and then a guy was going to kill me, but Xandyr blew him up with a or Vincent rather blew him up with
That's
a Eldritch Blast.
Blast.
He exploded everywhere. It was,
That was,
guts and gore.
That was pretty good.
Yep.
and then I'm currently heading towards the stables that are on fire from the inside, from what I believe
Yeah.
was
we can-
happening.
And we can see Condrazul. He's off on the northeast corner, right? Just kind of him and his pack just kind of stopped and started just watched. And I think there was some sort of
Vibing.
fight going on with him, right? His wolves and wargs were fighting each other. Their wolves were fighting goblins or something.
Yes,
took
the wolves had tossed the goblin riders, and Condrazul gave the order for them to essentially just be eaten,
Slaughter.
destroyed. And so there are, I believe, 4 warg riders. One of them is Condrazul, and then there's the wolf pack behind them that's just been kind of like feasting on what were their goblin riders.
And Vincent is trying to shake off the very eerie feeling that he has from the mysterious and strange laughter that he was hearing in his head.
Hmm.
Yes, that started coming into your head last session. So when we left off, Silverado had essentially just run up and punched the war chief out. Pretty much, I think it was the first attack you made against him, or even your follow-up that just
I think it was my follow-up. Yeah, I think I took him twice and got him with the second.
Yeah, I'm sure he wasn't expecting, to be laid out so quickly. He basically, darted around his 2 archer guard and took him out. Then the rest of the goblins from the war or the battle began kind of dispersing. There were a few left that fled, but within one of the stables, there's a lot of mayhem going on currently. And as you guys dart back to the farm, I understand that's what you all intend to do at this point in time.
Right
Yeah,
next
I think
to
so.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then can you refresh my memory? How did you slay our dares?
I I clocked him twice, and I broke his nose. And as soon as the other guy got shot by Vincent, I'm pretty sure I stabbed my sword through his throat or something, from what I remember.
Yeah. So he's been finished off essentially pretty clearly.
Yeah.
He's not unconscious. He's dead.
Right.
Essentially, Vincent hit him for 19, and then Silverado ran in and hit him for 19.
Yeah, we both did the same damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we blew him up.
He was brutalized.
Yeah.
So one group of goblins, if you recall during the battle, had made it past, the choke point that Fausto was above.
Yes.
He ended up taking out a couple of goblins, but then that's when they invaded the stables here. You
right.
three raced off to engage Ardairs, who was leading the attack, and so now you return to essentially see what's going on here with the stable. You hear screams from within. There was screams of a fire, smoke that could be seen coming out of there.
Right.
So
Yeah, there was
what
a
do you all
fire
wish to do?
Well, I've run in, try to see how many people are there and how
Okay.
difficult it will be to clear it out.
Are you
Yeah,
all
same.
essentially running up
Yeah,
as a group?
because we kind of knew that Fausto was up here on top of this building, right? And now he's not there anymore.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I will switch us over to the map scene here.
Are we still in initiative, or are we able to move up?
Well, as you approach the stable, you will find that Kevin and Craigley have already entered.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, we move our guys up there.
Good guys.
They were accompanied by the dwarves,
Right.
Boruli and Brukoth. As you guys rush up, Boruli and Brukoth, who are two of Thragnown's dwarves, kind of like come out with a small group of people, dragging a couple of injured. Boruli falls to the ground in arrows in his calf. Brukoth moves to the door and stands by the archer, ready to risk his life again. So I will switch us over to the stable here.
Did you make these maps?
These maps are from 2 Minute Tabletop. The one that we're on currently, I made using Incarnate, and then the battle maps we use are typically from 2 Minute Tabletop.
Cool.
Cool.
This is inside that stable that we just saw.
Yes, in the stable here, the stable doors are shut. It's eerily hushed. And then I do need to fix the layout here on the map scene of the stream real quickly, but it should just take a moment. I can do that.
Well, I'm ready to go ham. I only have 8 hit points, but I'm ready.
Uh-oh. And what are everybody's resources looking like currently?
I didn't use any spells and take any hits.
Yeah,
I didn't have to.
I mean, you guys made quick work of that that war band.
Yeah, I had a plan. I didn't have to use any of what was in my plan.
I have no key points left, but so that means only 2 attacks per round. Very sad. And I have 8 hit points.
I have no more spell slots, and I have 9 hit points and 3 temporary hit points.
Oh man.
Okay.
So
Right,
both
get behind
banged
me.
up, eh?
All right. At
To
least
start
I got
shooting
Vincent
into the
a little
stables.
bit. Let's see. My settings here on the stream get a little confused because of the way the windows are titled, I guess. I need to learn a little bit more about that, but we have them just about lined up here.
Oh, nice.
Whoa!
Yep, I think we have everybody pretty much set here. So, yeah, as you enter the stable, it's kind of eerily quiet. You hear the hushed conversation of people off in the back corner. Let's see. And as I said, Kevin and Craigley had entered. You see Craigley slouched against the wall over here, unconscious.
Okay.
That's not good.
Everybody roll initiative, please.
All right.
Nice.
We're in it. Not great. They got 11. As a tank of the party, this is not good.
Sorry. Just gotta get my character sheet open here. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
So that's a 5 for me. I'll get there when I get there.
Oh, going first in the party then. All right.
Yeah.
Why are we so bad at initiative?
I don't
every
know.
time?
Just forget whatever you're going to upgrade and just do dex. Just dex straight up.
Dump it all into dex.
Dump it all into dex. Get it up to 20 as fast as you can.
And Xandyr, what did you get on initiative?
Oh, I'm sorry. 6.
Sounds good. And then Xandyr, do you have control of your token?
Oh, we're at the bottom there.
I
didn't see
do.
that.
Yep.
Okay, very
Ready to
good.
rock.
Silverado, you should, and then
I do.
Vincent, you should now as well.
Yeah, now I do.
Right.
Yeah, start
So-
counting squares.
The white X there on the map reflects Craigley, who is the friendly cleric, the old gnome who has been lending his aid during the battle. He has fallen. He is unconscious. And
Kind of want to help him out there, but might not have a chance.
That's kind of what I'm debating with too. I'm not sure.
I mean, I have a healing potion on me, but I kind of want to save it in case things get really dire for me.
Oh, yeah. And I've got healing spells. I was gonna try and throw one at each of you once we're rolling.
I mean, Craigley is a cleric, so another healer doesn't hurt.
sorry to my players, if you're looking at the stream, you might see spoilers.
What?
Up in the rafters of the stable, you hear movement, and then
Are the people hiding in the rafters?
an arrow flies from the darkness aimed
Nope.
at you, Silverado.
Not the people. Okay.
Ooh, that is a solid hit.
Yeah, that's a hit, all right.
And 8 damage you will take from an arrow.
And I'm unconscious. Let's go.
All right.
Oh, it's pretty empty. Ugh.
Oh my goodness. So you fall unconscious, having been stricken by this arrow.
This is my exact health.
There are the 2 dwarves, Boruli and Brukoth, behind you guys. And Fausto's 2 men have also gathered at the exit of the stable here, kind of looking over your shoulder, ready to lend their aid.
Right on.
Vincent, it is your turn. I will reveal on the map a little bit lower down what you can see here. Let's see.
Didn't Xandyr roll higher than me?
I rolled the
just-
highest.
Just by a second.
Yeah, I rolled a 5. Xandyr rolled a 6.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
rolled an
have
11.
I'm sorry.
all good.
I went lowest to highest here. Silverado, you're up.
It's all good.
All right. Death saving throw. Let's go.
Yes.
No, I used my super cool monk ability to survive. I don't
Oh.
survive. All right. Well, I failed my first death save.
Oh no. Okay.
All right, we got you.
So if you guys look down below you, up in the
There's a new
rafters,
part.
the rafters kind of come to light just for the sake of the game, and you see these goblins up here who have taken 2 pot shots at Silverado.
Successful.
Okay.
So next up is Xandyr.
All right, I'm gonna throw a healing word at my buddy Silverado.
Woo!
Watching him take a. What did I roll? 5. Did it come? Oh, it's coming through still. Rolling dice, it says. Did I just crash it? Oh, I rolled horribly. You heal you for 4 hits.
Okay. Well, I'm back up, so that's all that matters to me.
And
Very
can
good, very
I
good.
see? Can I see whatever it was that shot at us?
Yes, I'm sorry. So if you look, kind of scroll down on the Roll20, you'll see another map down here of the loft.
Oh, I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So you'll see
Cool.
the goblins
see
here
right
on
there.
the edge of that who took their shots at Silverado.
And that's our space below it.
Yeah,
on.
it's like a 2-layer
Totally
thing
getcha.
here. So yeah,
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. So there's one like right near us.
one is pretty
Kind of-
near,
kind-
and yeah,
pretty much right above
exactly.
us.
Yep.
Well, I can take a shot at him with my crossbow.
Okay, the one that's near.
Yeah, the one near.
Okay, sounds good.
Come on.
Ooh.
Oh, sure. I didn't mean to roll advantage. Sorry, but
Aw,
21 to hit.
Oh,
got me
man.
excited.
Indeed will hit.
That is the
7.
initiative.
I don't know why I did 7 plus 7. Oh, because the things I
Because it's
critted.
doing the crit, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just 7 damage.
Yeah, is that saying that's what it rolled? I'm so confused. Sorry, because I'm thinking if that's what it's rolled, it would be 10. Here, let me just.
No,
it says you rolled a 4 plus 3.
Oh, perfect. Even better. There you go.
Yeah, so
7. Boom.
7 damage.
20.
And this is the nearest one. He falls, kind of like slumped over the edge here, and begins slipping to the ground. And indeed, he falls all the way to the ground, unconscious.
Smash. That'll learn you.
Oh, an assassination mission on me. What was this? They're so weak.
Totally.
Next is
And
Vincent.
I'll stay
I'm
put.
sorry.
That'll
I'm
be my
sorry.
turn. No, it's okay.
Okay.
That'll be my turn.
Very good. Vincent, please.
Take him out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pop an Eldritch Blast at the other one that's up
Oh.
there. Come on.
Roll20 slow
It's
today.
making you wait for
Yeah.
it. Build the anticipation here.
Suspense.
The suspense.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
What the
four-
hell? Jesus
You shoot him
Christ.
4 times.
Yeah, I'm level 17 now. I forgot to tell you.
Well,
Luckily,
I think
they all.
The,
I mean, I think
the
they all
first
hit.
one will definitely hit, and probably all of them. So
Awesome.
Okay.
10
That's
damage.
10 damage.
10 damage.
should be
Wow.
enough.
yeah, you just blast him away, and he falls unconscious.
Oh. Okay.
Again,
I'll use my movement to head over to Craigley.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I was thinking I should have done that as well. That's good. That's smart.
And as you step out of here, as you step over there from this stable, you see
Oh, great. Where are those?
a goblin who appears to be in charge of these other two, and what's even worse is he has Kevin by the arm, and he has
God.
a sword to Kevin's throat.
God, Kevin cannot catch a break.
It
All right, so
appears
it's-
to be the Hawkins family sword, and he is threatening Kevin with it. He kind of, shoves his group out here and begins making an exit. He moves out of this stall here and says in common, let me pass. And then he is moving the sword menacingly at Kevin's throat. And he seems to be anticipating your move and readying himself for what happens next. Vincent, from right behind you as you're tending to Craigley, out of the stall here comes another goblin. He raises his sword and brings it down across your back, or tries to. Indeed. Take 5 damage as he
Okay.
smacks you with his sword here.
What cool stuff do I have? I don't have anything good.
And So I believe that will bring us to Silverado. Fausto's men have arrows notched, and they're waiting for the perfect shot, being very careful, not to take a shot that will hit Kevin.
What? How much does this healing potion give me if I take it?
I forget what
Is
it is.
is it a regular healing potion?
Yes. Yes.
So it's I'd have to double check. I think it's 1d4 plus 4.
That seems correct to me. Okay. Oh, look at that.
Oh, nice.
Max?
Yeah, that's max. I'm back up to 12.
There you go.
I drink my healing potion, and I just kind of toss it on the ground, and I look at the guy that has Kevin, and I say, "Oh man, I've just had a real bad day, friend. You don't want to do this. This is your only chance to let him go, and I'll let you leave. Ardaris is dead. Ardaris is fully dead.
Ooh, interesting.
Your purpose
his eyes
here is
shifted
over.
out.
You can let Kevin go, and I'll let you go. I have no qualms about letting people live."
Will you make a persuasion check, please?
It's not my strong suit. That's a 9. Oh, no. You know what? No. I'm using DM inspiration for this.
There you go.
Same thing.
Good time to bust it out. Oh, no.
Rolled 9 twice.
Really?
Rolled 9 twice.
Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, his eyes kind of dart from side to side. He doesn't quite seem convinced, although this new information has definitely seemed to pique his interest. If not his fear.
Contrazul is still here. He's alive, and he's in charge.
So consuming the potion is your action. So will you have anything else that will be done?
No, I can't really do anything. I mean, I'd have to look, but I think I can't do anything right now. No.
Okay. Next up is Xandyr.
All right. So the two is it Fausto's men or the two dwarves are behind us?
You have 2 archers, and then 2 of the dwarves are behind you, but one was just stricken with an arrow, so he's fallen to the ground, and so he's out of commission. Yes.
All right, I'll take a step in, just like so here. While I'm moving, I'm keeping my eyes on the hobgoblin with Kevin, and looking over at the hobgoblin. I have one hand on my pan flute around my neck. It's actually my spell casting focus, and I look over to the hobgoblin and I say to him, "How do you measure a snake? In inches. They don't have feet." And cast Tasha's hideous laughter at him. So he gets to make here. I guess I can just bring it up. Maybe it's easier to do that.
You pull this off.
I'm trying, man. I'll tell you.
I gave them a chance, okay, and they didn't take it. That's their fault.
Do I make an intelligence save here?
That's a wisdom save.
Wisdom
DC
save.
is DC 13, I believe.
Goblins don't seem very wise to me.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes.
it's
He starts
over.
cracking up.
And then I believe he falls prone and he's just laughing.
He's just laughing hysterically,
Oh,
and he releases Kevin.
He falls prone, all right.
Kevin, having been released, kind of darts to the wall here. He stands near you. Silverado, but he is not ready to run away. This goblin still has his family heirloom, the sword.
Oh, it's okay.
Cool. And then as I see this hobgoblin fall to the floor, I'll kind of yell out, "Let's take out the rest of the group. We'll leave him for last."
And Vincent, I think that will bring us to you.
Your move.
Yes. Shoot, I can't.
You don't have Missy's step yet.
I do not have Misty Step yet. That would be real handy right now.
That'd be a cool move to do, but you don't have it.
Misty Step and Scorching Ray would be real handy right now. I am going to.
Well, if you don't leave a threatened area, you can.
I've got to. I'm going to disengage, and I'm going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna disengage from my action, and I'm going to move back to the corner over here. And I don't have any bonus action, so that's it. That's my. I just want to break away from that guy.
Cool.
Okay.
Back to the top.
The archers
6.
behind you take aim. It looks like I rolled 3 times. I meant to roll. Oh, my first was a save, so I indeed rolled twice. An arrow strikes this goblin here, and the goblin falls to the ground.
Boom.
Which one? Right, the one that was threatening Vincent.
The one that snuck up on Vincent. Yes, they had a
Okay.
clear shot there and took it. The other arrow just missed, and then these goblins. So how long am I on the ground? Just for a turn, right? Well,
I think you have
need
to
make a new
repeat
save.
your
How long does he
save.
laugh?
Oh my goodness!
It's
He lasts for a
concentration
minute?
for a minute.
Yeah.
So until you save by that, you're
Okay.
gonna be down there.
That's pretty brutal.
No.
Hey.
He's just laughing hysterically on the ground.
Yes.
The other 2 goblins begin to look very unsure of themselves. The one behind him runs into the stall. This one begins just kind of backing up very nervously. Next is Silverado.
Got him, Silverado.
Hold on. I gotta
Bring the pain.
hold on. I will. Trust me.
Oh, I know. I'm just
35.
anxious anticipation on my part.
I look towards Kevin and I kind of just take out my short sword and catch it in the air and hand it to him hilt first. And I say, use this until we're done here. And then I take out my crowbar from my backpack and I start running towards that goblin that's backing away.
Okay.
So, not discussed, but what would a crowbar qualify as?
Your improvised melee weapon, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. We'll give it like a strength check.
A strength check? All right, sure. I'll do
Yeah.
a strength check.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think a crowbar qualifies as finesse.
No, sadly
Not
not.
exactly.
No, that's true.
Do I get him?
He's savage, but you're just like, His swing goes errant, unfortunately.
All right, I'll just punch him then.
He's terrified.
That's better.
Okay, that'll hit. A 20 will do it.
6 damage.
There you go. Stick with what you know.
The goblin's spirit looks like it is broken, but he still stands. Xandyr,
I gave you a chance.
Xandyr, you're up.
All right. Okay. You're okay, Vincent? You're okay over there?
I'm good.
He's
All
hurt,
right.
but he's fine.
I've been worse.
Sorry, where's the ruler? Can I? Wouldn't this guy's incapacitated, right? I don't get an attack of opportunity for going around the
Right.
hobgoblin.
No, he won't be able to attack you.
All right. And I will engage this goblin right here. Short sword, short sword. Let's go.
Okay. Let's see it.
Let's see it. Oh shoot, where's the right page? There it is. All right. First attack. No. Rolled a 6.
Ouch. Okay.
And an 8. Oh, this is going to hurt.
Okay. Nice
Me.
attempt.
Thank you. 6 and an 8. That's not going to do it.
Not going to do it.
Shame.
And then I believe next up will be Vincent.
Okay, I'm gonna fire an Eldritch Blast over Silverado's shoulder, as
Nice.
tends to be my go-to move here.
Love it.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
stick with what you know, man. It
continue
works.
singeing Silverado's the side of his hair until he's gotta just don't move, man.
No, I try not to move.
Natural 20.
Hiya.
He explodes.
Boom.
Indeed.
There is a pair of boots left.
Indeed.
I
I don't think I even need to really roll that damage, but
Whoa.
there it is.
Twice in one day.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
He is
24?
slain.
boom. It's a pair of smoking boots on the ground.
Okay. Vincent, will
That's
that be your
great.
turn?
Yeah, that's my turn. I get another. I burned through my temporary hit points, so now I get them back with that attack.
Cool.
So
Nice. Kevin will raise the sword that you handed him, Silverado, and he runs up to attack the goblin who is laughing hysterically on the ground.
Nice. Cool. I mean, he's prone. Let's go for it.
Yeah, it gets advantage too.
Kaboom.
You gave him a short
Kaboom.
sword, right?
Yeah, it was a short sword.
And then he gets. Sorry, I was just gonna say he gets a once he gets hit, he gets a saving throw with advantage.
Okay.
Five damage.
Okay.
That's gonna do it.
So being struck by this sword seems to end his laughter.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Should be Kevin to do it,
And
as he was held captive.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
next up is Silverado.
There you go.
But as it is B,
He's still prone. Go get him.
well,
This is awesome.
I'm not gonna use the
Crowbar?
crowbar again. No.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah, I mean it looks cool and it's very intimidating, but I can't use it effectively.
Just
Fair
get
enough.
drunk
Fair enough.
So I'm just gonna punch him in the
Oh.
face real hard.
Yeah, you are. Nice.
Yikes.
Boom.
7 damage. Does that take him out?
Brutal. It does. It takes him. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just in auto mode. It does not. It does not take
Okay.
him out.
I hit him again. This time in the throat.
That
Yeah, you
hits.
7 damage again.
Ooh, nice. He's still alive.
Yeah, that's a hardy goblin.
We'll wear him down.
Hobgoblins.
Me and Kevin on top of him.
Oh, he's a hobgoblin. Oh,
I think he's a hobgoblin.
This one appears to be just kind of a very tough goblin.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No
He,
worries.
he did lead the ground troops, so it makes
That's
sense.
true.
He was
right
leading one of the groups there. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, that's cool.
I'll start writing notes down because I haven't done that yet.
Next up is Xandyr.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna take out the goblin that I'm fighting.
Hits.
Get him hit for 7.
Indeed, and he falls to the ground defeated.
Boom. Then with that I'll just pivot and hold my. Or can I move and then attack with a bonus action?
You haven't used
I
your
could
movement
do that,
yet.
and then I could just like step over here and attack with my bonus action.
Yeah.
Oh, totally do that. Step in there and he's still prone. Ish. Doesn't matter.
nice.
22 to hit.
So as part of your bonus, you just wouldn't have your proficiency bonus, right? Or is it a special
No, you get
class?
your
feature?
proficiency bonus. You don't get to add your ability
damage.
score to the damage.
Yeah. And I rolled 1, so I only do 1 point to him.
He falls slain.
Oh!
Of course. I was one off. One off.
Oh.
Well done. So
I
it's
love how Silverado's beating the crap out of him, and then Xandyr just like pokes him.
Yeah, that's it. As soon as it ends, I'd like to. I would immediately, assuming that I think the battle is over, I'm going to run over and try and tend to Craigley. I've got a healing kit, so I'm going to see if I can stabilize him or,
Actually, I can. I'm gonna
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna go over there probably at the same time that you're heading over, and I'll use my healing hands.
Yeah, even better.
Give him 2 hit points.
I'm just gonna clear out this stable real quick. Make sure there's nothing else.
Craigley comes back from near death. He's coughing. He's quite beat up.
As I'm standing there, I'll pick up the family sword at the foot of that hobgoblin and hand it over to Kevin.
Kevin hangs his head and says, "I don't deserve this, obviously."
Oh, pick it up, Kevin.
Knock
Kevin,
that off.
pick it up.
Well,
Stop beating yourself up.
We don't have time for that crap, man.
I
Come
got
on.
knocked out twice today, okay? Or in
Kevin,
the last couple of days.
Look how many of them were here, Kevin. It took all of us to take them down, dude. Don't sweat it at all.
hanging his head,
man.
he accepts
Yeah,
the
man.
sword, and he seems to appreciate all of your words of encouragement.
Yo,
It's a
toss
badge
my
of
sword
honor.
back, Kevin.
Yes, he's happy to give you your sword back, Silverado.
All right, I put it in my my sheath.
Okay, it appears that the goblins had slain several people, but you did come in time to save the people who were hiding in the rafters and the stalls that the goblins had not made their way into.
Oh boy.
Can we search the goblin bodies?
Yeah.
Do some looting.
See if there's any
Totally.
orders.
Were they using bow and arrows or crossbows? The ones that we dropped from the rafters.
Short bows.
Short bows. Cool. I need to find some crossbow bolts. I think I only have about 5 left.
The goblins don't have anything of worth on them. Just the leaders wearing chainmail that would fit a small human or a small being. The rest of them are wearing their own, individually fashioned leather armor, and they all have shields.
Okay.
Their weapons are pretty crude. If you have a similar weapon, yours would be better made.
Maybe I'll just do a quick search around, make sure we didn't miss any goblins that are just trying to hide out in here, and any ones that might have failed their morale checking.
Will you make a perception check?
For sure.
Also, just let you know, when I healed up Craigley, I would have, because again, these guys don't know what I am. I'm kind of trying to keep that under wraps, so I would have tried to been just looking like I'm tending to his wounds and just sort of slip a hand on him and cast that real.
They don't know who I am. Shoots Eldritch Blast 3 times.
Well, no, I mean you know that part.
You don't want to give away too many
I would
clues.
assume
Though.
you're some kind of.
I
I would
wanna-
assume you're some
yeah.
kind of wizard or sorcerer, really. I mean,
Yeah.
Silverado, will you
13
please
on
make a
perception,
perception
sorry.
check as well?
Aye, I will. It is a 23. The thing I'm good at.
Well, you don't find any more goblins, but you do find a little child hiding under a
Oh.
big pile of hay.
God,
He's
all
alive,
right.
and he was
Cool.
quite terrified. Thank God you found him, Silverado.
Oh, I kneel on down and I was like, hey, you can come on out now. All the bad people are dead.
A woman who is crying approaches and picks up the little child that you've discovered. Oh, my baby!
nice. Nice.
Oh man, I am dying
So-
too much.
The threat inside the stable here seems to have been handled effectively. you made the choice during battle to take out the leader of the army to ensure that Ardairs did not escape. Perhaps several people more than would have died if you had instead rushed here. But then, of course, the whole point of the battle would have been for naught. So it was a tough decision to make, but that is the outcome.
Silverado just thinks acceptable losses. Just darkly out of nowhere.
Unfortunately,
Kind of shocked by his own thoughts, like, oh God, Jesus. He just takes a sip of his wineskin and just puts it away.
Vincent's totally fine with it.
Let me pull up my notes here, but that will kind of wrap up the combat portion of this battle here that we've been engaged in.
As we exit the stable, I would almost where you have us there on the map. I would kind of walk back out to where we were and look out to see if we see Condrazul and his brood still out there in the fields.
You do. You see Condrazul still standing there. Maybe the battle has lasted 15 minutes tops.
Right on.
The battle has been very, very quick. You quickly ended Ardairs' offensive, defeating all of his goblin foot troops. I'm sure things would have gone quite differently had Condrazul's wolves and the wolf riders, along with the wargs, attacked from behind. You guys did make the preparations, for just in case that happened, and luckily you hadn't seemed to need those yet, or perhaps you won't need them. So, but that was well thought out for sure. But so yes, to answer your question, Condrazul is still there.
I look at him until he catches our attention.
Indeed, that is not hard to do. He seems to be, awaiting the outcome of this battle.
I give him a thumbs up.
He raises his arm as if to hail you, and kind of.
I raise my wineskin.
He beckons to you, perhaps to meet with him.
I take off. I mean, I look at Vincent and Xandyr. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to Condrazul real quick. You guys can come along if you want, but
yeah, I'm definitely coming with you.
Yeah, I'll come with you too. Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's head out.
For sure.
How are you guys feeling, Vincent? Are you pretty beat up? Or
yeah, I mean, I've got 7 hit points and 3 temporary. So
I wish I didn't take that healing potion. I could have saved it, but oh well.
Man, you use it because you never know.
Yeah, it might have been wise. You never know what could have happened there. So
I do have high wisdom.
You were at 4, right? I mean, they could have just easily.
Yeah, I was at 4. It could have been very bad.
Yeah.
Indeed,
if I got like 1 hit point from it, it would have been a waste. But
I feel like if you're going toe to toe and you're down half, it's smart to heal almost.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So don't second guess it. I think you did good.
Got to play it safe.
Yeah, let's go talk to this guy.
Still war cancel.
But we'll still be on our guard.
The other people who are involved in the battle have their own interests to tend to. They feel a sense of victory, obviously, but there was great loss this day. The dwarves sacrificed heavily, and then there were other people who were lost in the battle. So they will kind of all, obviously be tending to their own interests. And the 3 of you go to meet with Condrazul. And he greets you and seems to have whatever would be the closest thing to a smile that could cross a hobgoblin's face is upon his face. And he says, "Brothers, yes, I knew that I could count on you." He appears almost giddy, and then kind of gets a hold of himself.
I say, Ardairs is dead.
Yes, he is dead, that pig.
Most of the goblins in town are dead. Like 2 escaped, I think. I'm pretty sure 2 or 3. And the town is victorious. They're all cheering and stuff. Seems like our end of the
It's not like we didn't have our fair share of casualties as well.
yeah.
Ah, yes. Yes, I am sorry.
Was a-
As you see, we have all sacrificed. And he holds his arm to show the wolves who are feasting on his goblin warriors.
But you probably didn't care for them that much, though.
Well, I only hope that these sacrifices will allow us to move forward with some more rational and more mutually beneficial arrangements amongst your people and ours.
It has been a hard day, and I do not want to tire you, my friends. Though it is still early, seems as though it is already time for rest.
I agree.
He says, Arders and I were to establish the supply line after the 2nd Battalion left. Kaitank has pulled every banner to reinforce our position in the Hetlevin, so I have been left to tend to this business. He says, as you know, that is where you come in. He recognizes that Arders, and some of this kind of sums up things that have happened in past conversations, so I'll just briefly touch on that, but he recognizes that Arders had unreasonable expectations, and that the terms that were initially set, were basically unattainable. And so he wishes to, come to new terms, something that the farms can handle, something that's reasonable for everybody. And yes, he does seem to have a lot to say, but I think that would be the first order of business with him.
That sounds reasonable. I think that negotiation would probably need to have the Hawkins, either Hawkins or the wife, probably both of them involved in that because I don't think my compatriots and I will be in town much longer. That I feel like they need to be.
Yeah, I believe not.
They should be involved.
I did not take you for farm boys. He laughs.
No. I mean,
he says, well, this
later.
then, ask Old Man Hawkins, can he come up with 2 wagons of grain a week? I'm sure he can.
I think that's reasonable.
yeah, as long as he gets the wagons back, I'm sure.
Do we still have that snake that we captured?
Somewhere, yeah.
So how about we talk to Hawkins and we'll send you a snake?
He says, sounds like a good idea.
Send you a snake.
Great. Good doing business with you. I'm going to go take a nap.
Yeah.
And walk away.
Ready to beat up.
He says, well, of course, I do not want to interrupt your sleep, but I do have gifts for you, my new friends.
Oh.
And he raises his eyebrow.
I turn heel and turn right back around.
He says,
Well,
yes, I
don't wanna
understand
be
the
rude."
vigors and the rigors of battle, so I do not want to keep you from your sleep, but I do wish to, prolong our relationship and stay friends.
Okay.
He pulls from a large satchel that is kind of on the side of his warg and hands to Xandyr a steel drum. And he says, this ceremonial drum is tuned to resonate with the spirits of our ancestry. Yes. So as he kind of describes the powers of this to you, once daily, you can play it as an action to grant yourself and up to 4 allies temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting ability modifier.
Wow.
That's an inspiring speech.
And how long would it last?
Are temporary hit points typically, they last until they're used, or is there typically like a minute duration on them?
Temporary hit points typically last
Until
they're used or until you take a
long
rest?
long rest, definitely.
long rest. Definitely. I'm not sure about short rest. I'd have to double check.
Might
Yeah, we
have to
can
check
look up
that,
the
yeah.
details.
I think
on
it's
that,
long
Okay,
rest.
that's cool.
Yeah, whatever
That sounds
typically
awesome.
applies there, we'll go with that. Condrazol,
Wow.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Cool.
Xandyr?
With that, I take it. And I just kind of thank you. That's a very generous gift, and I can promise to you that it will be good to put to good use, and the resonance of Conjure Zool will be heard throughout the land in the future.
He chuckles and says, "Very good." And as he's handing it to you, he like taps a few notes in a sequence that sound kind of foreign to your ear, but intriguing. Conjrazul reaches from his back where he has a wooden staff. The head of it is carved to resemble a python. And he hands the staff to Vincent. And he says, "You have practiced the snake magic in the past?" He asks you questioningly.
I've dabbled in some magic.
Well, and as you take the staff from him, the head of the staff begins to slither, and the snake's tongue kind of darts out. And you recognize that if you were to put this staff to use, it would become a live snake.
Well, that is handy.
Very cool.
And then he says, "Silverado has something special for you.
Oh boy,
For
do you?
returning my baby."
Ah, yes. Well, I figured you'd want him back because I don't want to steal a dog.
Of course. Well, I think you will appreciate what you have done when you see what I have for you. And kind of behind him off to the side, there's a cage that's covered with a blanket. And there is one goblin that's kind of like hiding by the cage, trying to stay out of the view of the wolves who are devouring all of his friends. And Conjrazul shouts meanly at them to bring me the puppy. And the goblin looks terrified, but obeys the order of Conjrazul and unlocks the crate. And a baby warg steps out, walking awkwardly. It is already the size of a grown wolf. The warg growls at the goblin, showing large fanged teeth, and then he actually attacks the goblin, biting its arm viciously. Conjrazul laughs and waves the goblin away, and he approaches the warg pup without reservation. He grabs it by its collar and kind of turns the collar slightly to make it tight around the beast's neck. The warg sits obediently, and Conjrazul feeds it something from one of his pockets. He says, "For you, Silverado, one of my best thoroughbreds."
Oh boy, I got a dog. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
It says, "He will be very cranky if you make him walk or run in the sun. I would advise against that. And don't be afraid to show him who the boss is, or you'll not have a very good friendship."
I'll tell you what, Conjrazul, in honor of this, let me give something to you. And I'm going to dig into my bag, and I have a set of weighted dice.
Oh yeah, he'll appreciate that.
Let me give those down. Like these, you can take these if you find in the future your babies are not being fed enough because food's being wasted on the goblins again. You can use these to play them in a game of chance and perhaps win some food back for you and your babies. Now, I say game of chance, but if you notice, and I'll roll them just kind of in my hand 3 times, and they just land on 10 every time. Like, if you know what you're doing with them, you always win.
He looks a bit surprised at first and then smacks you on the shoulder, laughing.
Awesome.
He seems intrigued.
I made a living off of these things for a very long time, but I don't really see much use for them anymore.
Oh,
Awesome.
well, thank you for the gift, my friend.
Yes, of course.
You want some wine?
Oh, I will have wine later. Now I must go meet with Kai Tank's men. I will tell them we do not need the reinforcements.
Good.
He says, "I would like to tell you, though, let me scroll quickly here." He says, "You know the Hawkins men? They're still near the orchard. They're with the goblins where we left them this morning. If you remember, a large number of Fausto's men, I think 10 or so, went to Brother John's orchard and had been missing.
Right, that's
Yes.
right.
So this would be him essentially telling you they have those men. And he explains that they're left with the goblin. He says, I'm going to round up the goblins later. Because obviously I can't lose all of our damn men, as much as I would like to. He says, but maybe if you get in there and kill the ogre that is with them somehow, then they'll all run away and you can have your friends back. Or, tell their friends where they are at least, but I don't know who would want to tangle with an ogre, so.
Well,
Interesting.
I've seen one of them before. They're not a pretty sight. They almost broke my foot when they accidentally stepped on me when I was hiding in a bush.
Well, we've made dumber choices, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with ogre hunting.
All right. Well, I'm not going anywhere until I get a nap. So,
Yeah.
Conjazul,
Amen.
it was a pleasure. We will be in touch.
Yes.
I thank you, my friends, and send this
Yes,
snake to... I apologize. I have a name here for this place where you guys should send the snake. I believe it is Broken Shale Valley.
Shale Valley.
And then I'll just double check the name on that when I get a moment. But yeah, he explains that that's where his encampment is. Even though the coward Anam retreated, we still stand strong in the mountains here.
Nice.
And he will excuse
Okay.
himself as well, saying that yes, we should not be seen together, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Before you go, Beastmaster. So what do I just feed him anything? And he doesn't like the sunlight?
Oh, he likes the meat, and they get very hot in the sun because his fur is so dark. So you could take him outside, but he'll get very cranky, and they have a hard time sweating. They don't sweat, So yes, I will not let him in the sun too long,
Hey,
Right on.
I'll keep that in mind.
and feed him the best meat you can. He'll be happy.
Well, you don't have to worry about that.
Cool.
Okay.
Condrazul kind of pats the warg before turning away and nods to his 3 hobgoblin companions to accompany him.
All right. On the way back to the farm, I'm going to give Silverado the having a pet is a big responsibility spiel.
Look. All right, look. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm 243 years old, all right? This is not my first time having a pet. I may look young, but I'm not. I had this snail, okay? I had this
For an-
snail.
Elf, that's pretty young, though.
It is pretty young, but I had a snail when I was like 100 or something. My parents gave it to me. It was like, hey, here's your responsibility. And I kept that thing around. It was on my shoulder all the time. We went around walks in the forest.
Okay.
A giant devil frog chased me through the forest, and I kind of my snail fell off, and the frog crushed my snail, and I was very sad about it. And they didn't give me another one after that.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you've had a pet snail, yeah, sure, it's basically the same thing, I guess.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
On our way back to the farm, I'd like to circle around and see if check it, get Ardair's grab Ardair's body and maybe just put them all into a pile and set them on fire after we see if he has anything worth of note.
I have to go
So you guys
hunting.
want to see if Ardair's has anything of note and burn all the goblin bodies?
Yeah, I think yeah. Did you guys have a plan for getting rid of these things?
I was gonna cut up some of them for meat, as a hold on for until I get actual meat. That's good for my new pet.
Wait, sure.
Okay.
Do you think they prefer hobgoblin or regular goblin?
There's only one way to find out.
They hate
Sure.
both. I'm gonna have to
Sure.
hunt some rabbits tonight.
All right. Well, there you go. So maybe we'll just drag them into town and I don't know. Yeah, see what they would want to do.
Let's just
I
put their
remember
heads
you
on
guys
spikes
also
or
made a
something.
trophy out of
Yeah, he's hanging
Maria.
He's hanging from.
Oh yeah, that dude that's just out there. Yeah,
yeah.
I forgot
he's hanging
about
from
him.
the windmill. Yeah, we might take him down. His message has been received.
I think so.
Not very well, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. But does Ardares have anything, any coins or anything else that might be worth hanging on to?
He will. I'm trying to pull up his.
I gotta step away for 1 second while you're doing that. I'll be right back.
No problem.
No worries. No worries. And you know what? We can take a short break here, and then we'll just come back at like 5:30. I'll have some info on what Ardares has, and then we can continue from there. Okay?
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
So what's
back, everybody, to the Heroes Era. And our story will continue. The heroes have just received some gifts from Conjrazul, their hobgoblin ally, and they've returned to Hawkins Farm to get some much-needed rest. So I would take it that you all are essentially just finding a good place to bed down. You're probably quite exhausted from the battle, and it would, you also didn't get a full night's rest last night, if I recall correctly. Silverado, yes, on the other hand, is just meditating. So, but hunting down that spy in the middle of the night prevented you guys from getting your full rest. So, indeed, it would probably be a good time to try and do that. I believe that was the intention here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, Silverado will, come out of his trance at around noon.
Mm-hmm. How long does my dog have to sleep? Like a normal 8 hours?
Dogs sleep a lot. This one's pretty wild, too, though. So, I don't know. What do you think? Where do you put your dog?
Well, he's a goblin warg, and he's been trained by them, so I imagine that they'll be pretty harsh. So I'd say like 6 hours, maybe. It seems like, because nothing can run on 4 hours of sleep. That's just not humanly reasonable.
Yeah, the warg probably wants to sleep most of the day, but I don't know what kind of constraints to put on it at this point in time.
I was just I was let it get 8 hours of sleep.
Do you put it up in the stall or?
Oh, it depends on where we're sleeping. I mean,
okay.
I guess it doesn't really matter. I was going to a stall and just lay down with my new dog and take a quick old tranquility nap.
Can you make an animal handling check?
Oh boy, I'm gonna die. This thing attacks me. I'm gonna kill it. A 6.
It takes a lot of effort to calm this thing down, but it takes probably about an hour to get this thing calmed down enough to lay down and get some rest.
Nope, that's fine by me. If it's resting, I'll just go to sleep right next to it.
Oh, how sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're getting some rest in the stall. Vincent, where did you bed down? I'm sorry, Vincent, I have you cutting out here on me.
I don't think he even said anything.
I'm sorry. You were my internet just got weird for a second.
Oh, no worries. You were moving at light speed. So where did you end up bedding down for the night?
The last few nights we've been crashing in like the stables and crap like that and everything. So I'd probably go find Hawkins or one of them and ask them if there's a spare room or a spare bed or something where I could actually get a decent sleep.
Yeah, he suggests that you go to what is essentially the small barracks for the helpers or the security hired around the farm. So the kind of northwest area there where the hired hands stay, and Mrs. Hawkins will provide you all with some nice bedrolls and blankets and such.
Okay.
And Xandyr?
You're muted.
You're muted. Your mouth moving, but you ain't making no words.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was. Sorry.
Oh, hey, that's all
My
good.
bad.
Hey, we could have worse problems.
Could be bad.
Yeah.
I probably do the same as Vincent. Now that the dust has set a little bit, find a better bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't picky.
It's too bad there isn't a tavern to find someone to share the bed with, but that's for another part of our adventure.
Tavern's a bit of a walk away.
You want to sleep with my warg? You can. Keep you warm.
It's all good.
All right.
So yeah, that's good.
And on our dares, you guys found the great sword that he carried. Vincent, you suspect that it has magical properties, though you haven't quite been able to discern them. He also has 12 gold pieces and a map of the region in a scroll case.
That map will come in handy.
Yeah, real. You said 12 gold pieces?
Yes.
Pardon me.
I don't have the
Yeah.
map uploaded here, do I? I do.
You have a battle map.
I just noticed on the stream our Vincent and I are backwards.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. All good.
Oh yeah.
Ah, you found my illusion. How dare you?
It's all good.
And then I think you guys should be seeing a regional map of the West Hetlevan Mountains.
Yes, we do see that.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
I guess we can start planning where we want to go.
Shall we hunt down this ogre, or do you guys want to just make our fond farewell and hit the road? I don't know where we would even go. So
Like I said, I'm down with ogre hunting.
Well, I mean, we've come this far with getting the farm situated and everything, but they need people. They're short-handed as it is.
Yeah.
So if we leave them without rescuing these guys, they don't have anyone to go and rescue them.
yeah.
But if
As
we
you
can
all
get
are having your conversation,
Oh boy.
and just because it is pertinent to the details that you guys are discussing, you see in the distance a dozen men who appear to be armed and armored. They're kind of moving quickly at a trot, kind of looking about the fields as they approach the farm.
Halt, ye who come here. What is thy name, stranger?
If you guys would like to approach them, that is fair to do. Silverado, that is quite a strange way that you're speaking.
yeah, I don't know what that
Oh,
was.
it's archaic. Common, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Are you under a spell or something?
Are you feeling all right?
I may have hit the sauce a little too much.
So these men appear heavily armed, and they are running. They wave at you all and say, "Oh," flag you down. They're quite out of breath.
Are you from Brother John's?
Oh no, we come from the 2nd Battalion. We could not stand by while this happened to our farms.
Oh, you stood by,
you
all
did.
right.
What now?
You're kind of late. You're a little late to the dance.
Us 3 people and a couple of other people just took out an entire warband of goblins while you were hauling ass over here.
You what? Oh my God!
I
Is
got took
everybody
out
all right?
twice.
Oh,
You want to make it right? Go help us kill an ogre. How about that, huh?
kill
Get a
an
little rescue
ogre.
mission. Get a little badge on your suit there, huh, pal?
Seems a
Go
little
kill an
thrown
ogre.
off. What is your name, sir? Where is the old man?
I'm Silverado. I went into the damn Feywild for him, all right?
All right, Silverado, maybe
Silverado.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you,
Getting a little
sir.
heated.
X-nay on the A-Wild Fae.
I mean no
Yeah.
harm here, so creature
Yeah,
of
very
the
much.
Fae, may we pass?
I'm sorry.
I'm not from the Fey. That's
Look,
racist.
Silverado, buddy, you get forgive my friend. We're very tired. It's been a long
Yeah.
couple
Of
days.
course, we
I'm a
are
little
quite
drunk.
tired too.
We've
and
been
indeed
trying-
They look
we've been-
exhausted.
We've been trying to get help over here, and we just got everything situated and settled, and then you guys come rolling in like the cavalry. It's a little frustrating.
Well, I
Yeah,
apologize.
but-
We had orders to stay, and we
I
had to break the
understand.
orders
I'm not-
to come.
I'm not
we could
yelling
be
at-
hanged, and you're here
I'm
saying
not
Sir,
this.
yelling
sir,
at
I'm
you.
surprised at you.
Sir, I apologize for my outburst. I'm a little drunk and hungover at the moment. I mean,
You're following your orders. You're doing your thing. I'm not taking. I'm
Yeah,
not mad
I'm
at you
sorry.
personally. Just saying, you can understand. We're tired and we're frustrated.
I
So-
understand, and
We've been,
Okay.
we
we've
shall.
been keeping this place afloat, you know?
yeah, I'm sorry. Tensions got a little high there.
We owe you then a great debt because this farmland is quite dear to all of us. That is why we had decided to abandon the 2nd Battalion and come to see what we can do. But
Oh,
it seems as though you have
Ooh, that's
already
not-
taken care of that.
Well,
that's not good. you deserted?
I don't know what they expect us to do, you know?
Well, there is still one matter that needs to be taken care of.
Okay.
Several of the men, some of the farm hands from here have been held captive and are being held captive. We've just discovered by an ogre, apparently.
Yeah. So that's your chance. You could say that you came to the battle and you helped fight the battle, and you went on to go help us kill this ogre, and you went on a rescue mission.
He says, then you kill off the hobgoblin forces then.
Yes, they are no longer an issue.
Very impressive. Where did the battle take place? He looks around, seeing a pile of goblins that you had been, I believe we're burning this pile of goblins.
Yeah.
Oh, all around here. There's a good amount of them somewhere in the town.
We actually were able to get some intelligence on their battle plans and set up
traps.
What's the right word? Yeah. Basically, we were able to get the jump on them. They were thinking that they were actually getting the jump on us. But
they had a highly skilled spy, or spying on us, and we took him out in the middle of the night, and we got the intelligence from him.
We've also made an agreement with we're hoping to make an agreement that will end the conflict between the hobgoblins and the people of Hawkins Farm.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of agreement? And as you are all discussing, Old Man Hawkins walks up to where the group is and hails the travelers well met. And he says, "Old man, they're just telling us about an agreement."
Well, a tentative agreement. We actually have not had a chance to speak with Hawkins about it yet.
Yeah.
And Old Man Hawkins seems to cough a bit and almost awkwardly says, "Oh, yes, we should speak. Forgive me. Vincent, would you help me a moment?" And is kind of shooting you like a knowing glance with his eyebrows as he exaggeratedly clears his throat.
Yeah, of course. Excuse me.
We say it's an agreement, but it's more like like you come back here, we'll kill you all.
Old Man Hawkins is leaving with Vincent, and he mutters under his breath,
"I got a dog to take care of. I gotta get out of here."
He says, "We cannot have another battle here." And he says, "We must not let this place fall into the wrong hands."
Oh, I thought these were good guys. Are these not good guys?
He's
Is the military bad?
Hawkins says, "I think that they are good, but of course they would want to defeat the goblins. I don't think it would be wise to tell them."
That's why I said that we are intimidating them. So it looks like that we weren't making a deal.
Yes, of course. Perhaps I overreacted, but so what? And the Old Man Hawkins shouts to the troops. He seems to know the captain by name, Agathar. And he says, "Agathar, let your men tend to their loved ones, and please see Mrs. Hawkins for a meal." It seems that many of those that have come with Agathar are, local to the region. That's why they have deserted. And Old Man Hawkins turns back to the group of you and says, "Yes, we should make this agreement without the military knowing."
We should tell our benefactor too about what's going on here right now.
Old Man Hawkins looks to you. "You have all rested now. What has come of this agreement that we have struck up with the hobgoblin?"
Same as before, but more reasonable.
Yeah.
They're looking for a mere 2 carts of grain and food per week. And in exchange, as they originally had guaranteed protection and safety in the area, they won't mess with you, and they will deal with anyone else who may. So
Two wagons.
2 wagons.
That seems like something we can do. I will arrange the 2 wagons. Have you agreed already?
No, we wanted to talk with you first.
We deferred to you.
Yeah, but we have means to communicate with them once we've agreed on terms with you.
Also, I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm not sure if the snake thing is like a goblin only thing, or if that's just like a messaging type. I'm not from here, man. That's why I didn't know about the politics. Sorry.
Yes, well, we can use these snakes to communicate. They probably know how to get back to who sent them quite easily.
We're supposed to send it to Broken Shade Vale, or is that right? Yeah. Broken
Broken
Shale
Shade
Valley.
Valley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
He says, I think we can do what the hobgoblins are asking, but I think it is quite foolish of Kaitenk to think he can use the farms of the Great Valley to supply his army. Surely enough, the forces of good will need us at some point. And he says, I have heard the 7th Battalion has orders to reinforce any points of conflict. And
Well,
he kind of expresses that he doesn't want to bring any more attention to his farm. And he's quite adamant about not letting his farm fall into the wrong hands.
do you think that the military would be better to make a deal with? Like, they might requisition some food like they're doing with the goblins. But the thing is, with the goblins, it's a done deal, and we know what's going to happen. And it's pretty set, and we've gone through this far, and we have their trust, right? The military is an unknown. Like, we know they're good, and we know they're inherently good, but they might need food for like a war effort or something.
But let's not kid ourselves. I mean, they're still gonna be dealing with these hobgoblins, and a deal is fine with them until they decide it's over, right?
Yeah.
And they won't usually let you know it's over until after they're wiping their boots off on your clothes.
And the military's not going to be okay with us having a bartered
deal.
agreement with.
Yeah, they're not going to like that.
And truth be told,
Hawkins essentially is feeding the hobgoblin armies.
Ah.
And honestly, I mean, let's be realistic. What are the hobgoblins? They want to feed their men. That's all the military's going to ask for. Like, they're not.
It's a
They
matter of
tried to
sides.
come in and intimidate and bully us, and we shut that down. And they know that this farm is not to be dealt with lightly. They've come to a reasonable agreement. I think that we've established your farm, Mr. Hawkins, as a place of honor and a place of power and a place to conduct business with in a respectful way to the hobgoblins. And so
my suggestion would be
they live here too, so they're your neighbors. Like it or not, I think that it's best that we stick with that. And the military is here to reinforce any conflict, but as far as I can see, there's no conflict.
Won't be any. Yeah.
Old Man Hawkins seems to agree and expounds that the hobgoblin people have lived peacefully in the mountains until they were riled up by the armies of the Titan and joined their forces.
Right.
Old Man Hawkins seems to share your I guess it's kind of a more complicated view on the situation, I guess.
I hate to say it, but I think I actually trust this guy Kondrazul.
Yeah, I was thinking.
I think he's an honorable hobgoblin.
Yeah, I'd say we go with him. Yeah.
Old Man Hawkins says that honor is highly regarded among the hobgoblin people, though of course there are exceptions to every rule.
Sure.
Oh.
I mean, I know I've heard stories of orcs who've battled in neighboring dwarven and elven communities for years, and then all of a sudden one orc king rose up and decided to make peace with the rivaling clans, and worked out trade, and they actually do coexist peacefully. And I don't understand why that's not a possibility here.
Old Man
other
Hawkins,
than the other conflict that's going on.
Old Man Hawkins says, one thing that I found difference between orcs and hobgoblins is the hobgoblin always needs something to feed its hunger for domination. So I fear if it is averted from here, where have they focused the attention of their army? For if they do not continue to conquer, they will lose their host.
You mean the hobgoblins are obviously focused on something, and it's just right now their eye is not on us.
They are always focused on war and conquest. For if a hobgoblin leader is not leading their armies to victory, they will be easily and swiftly overthrown.
By someone that will, right?
It seems to me that damned if we do, damned if we don't. because if
Yeah.
we side with the military, the goblins will come back, and then we'll have to deal with that situation because the military is going to hate you because
Kantankus left, right?
Tank was never here. He was up in the north. It was just his little group that came down here. So-
Tank is their warlord. He would outrank any hobgoblins you have seen.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But he's gone north, right? To
yeah,
north
he's
of
in the
Dunlop.
mountains currently. And I'm thinking that that we might run into this group of goblins later. It seems likely because if we ever go to the mountains, there's a good chance that we'll run into some goblin party, and we might have to like say like, oh, we are with Congrazul, or like, oh, we're with you guys, or something like that, and we might have to. I don't know, playing
I
both
know what you're saying.
sides.
If we're gonna say we're kind of gonna use that we know Conjurzul and we are allies, we're gonna want to be able to back that up by it actually being somewhat true as opposed to
Mhm.
breaking this deal. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if we-
that was kind of I was thinking that too. Is just, I mean, I grew up panhandling and thievery, but there is a sense of honor among thieves, as they say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if we side with the hobgoblins, give them food. We have to be careful about it and make sure that it happens where if the military ever comes, they don't see it. And if we side with the military, then the goblins will get mad at us. But what will happen in that case is that if you kill the goblins, you don't have to deal with them anymore. And you might still have to give the food, but you don't have this constant threat.
I mean, this might sound a little bit off base, but from my point of view, as long as we're cool with Conjurzul and the plan that we put in place is here when we leave, if the military comes in later on and Hawkins decides that it's in his best interest to make a new deal, that's nothing to do with us.
Hawkins affirms that he can easily have delivered the requested grain shipment. People in this region owe him many favors, and he can easily call them in to have this done.
I mean, it's not. It's
It
not
is just a
sorry.
matter of no. That's okay. It's just a matter of the time that you guys helped to buy him, and also finding out who actually has the means to do this. So I'm sorry.
Right on. That's okay. Because it sounds like there's a possibility where, there's the 2nd Battalion to the 7th Battalion. I forget which that we'd mentioned. But if they were to move in here, the odds are pretty good that they're going to garrison themselves in some form in this area. Now, the kicker might be that it would be more than 2 wagons of grain. But there's nothing to say that. I mean, we've already seen the hobgoblins increase their deals. I mean, although we're dealing with a different hobgoblin, they're all kind of woven from the same cloth. And it's the devil or the devil you don't. And sometimes in this case, I feel like the devil that they know might be the human military as opposed to.
If we do the hobgoblins, and the military rolls in and occupies this farm, and they also request food, then that's not great, because then you have to give 2 to the hobgoblins, and then you have to give some to the military. The military might be more understanding that, like, hey, we can't give out this much food. We're barely surviving here. But you're still giving away food. There's no guarantee.
I think in that case, what'll happen is that the supply chain going to the hobgoblins will not exist, because the local military is not going to want you to feed their enemies.
Well, that's if we're keeping it a secret. If we're keeping the supply line to the goblins secret, the military never finds out about it, and so they think like, oh, these guys, they aren't allied with anybody. They're just citizens, and we're going to protect them from evil. Meanwhile, you're feeding the evil.
Old Man Hawkins says, yes, well, we would not want to render too much aid to the invaders just to keep their attention drawn away. I'm sure when the 7th Battalion comes through, then things will change altogether. It will be time for a new agreement.
That's kind of what I'm wondering, Mr. Hawkins. Yeah.
So it's buying time and diversion
for the time being, though.
Until forces come in and help. Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
kind of where I was thinking too, Silverado. Exactly. The food flows that way for now, and when the military rolls in, the food flows their way. Because
Listen.
I mean,
Like ultimately, we can discuss it all we want, but
It's
It's
up to
Hawkins.
Hopkins.
This is Hopkins Farm. This is his decision.
that's right too.
This is the arrangement that we've made. If you're okay with it, sir, we'll set it up for 2 carts a week. And if your circumstances change down the road and you need to adjust that, then that's up to you at that point.
And Old Man Hawkins says, then Condrazul awaits my reply in the Broken Shell Valley.
Correct.
That's correct.
He says, I will send one of his snakes back and ask for a map of where to deliver the shipments. So it should be no problem. It seems like I don't want to misname this halfling, but the halflings seem to have a bit of grain left. I will reach out to them. Perpos, Zengin. Forget the other names off the top of my head, but yeah. So he's intends to reach out to those halflings.
I'm sorry, guys. Excuse me 1 second.
No worry.
No problem, man.
So yeah, Old Man Hawkins says he'll kind of reach out to these halflings, the ones who brought the shipment of grain for the dwarves that one time. And yeah, so you guys have kind of made this arrangement with Old Man Hawkins, and he would like for this arrangement to be kept secret from the other men. He says, I know these men well, but I don't know that they will quite understand what we are doing here, you see.
Do they hate the Feywild? Because I told them I went to the Feywild.
Oh, did you? What did
Well,
you
I'm
say,
also
Silverado?
a wood elf too.
Of course.
So-
Well, maybe no harm was done. What did you say to them? He looks a bit concerned.
It's about what I did in the Feywild for you.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I am
Yeah.
so appreciative that you did that for me, but I wish that you would have kept that a
Yeah.
secret between
Well,
yourself and me.
I also
expressed
played
that
it.
to you.
I played it off as like I was drunk and hungover, which I am a little bit.
Oh,
And-
my goodness. Okay. Yes.
I
Well,
also
that
call him
is part
racist.
of the reason I do not want the army here. There is more to this farm, and I believe that it was spared by the gods, if you ask me, and many will, so I will say that.
All right, I'll keep quiet about that from now on.
Well, please, because you realize how powerful of a thing that could be to someone who wishes to exploit it.
Well, they have to survive it first.
Yes, well, true. Well, I appreciate you understanding, Silverado.
Yeah, it was lost in the heat of the moment. It's a little
Did,
too passionate.
Remind me, did Carnzazul show us where this ogre was held up?
He told us where, if I remember.
He said essentially that the goblins are still holding the perimeter of Brother John's orchard, and that they had an ogre with them. And he suggested that
Right
killing
here.
the ogre might cause all of the other goblins to disband.
It's a show
Okay.
of force for sure. Well, I mean,
No matter who frees these people, it's about 10 of Fausto's men, so it would be a valuable acquisition to the farm, regardless of, who does the footwork.
well,
It
we have
kind-
the military.
Yeah, but it also kind of sounds like Hawkins doesn't really want the military snooping around in here.
Yeah.
So
Well, that doesn't. They don't know that though. They know that we could tell them that like, hey, there's these guys that got captured by the goblins, and there's an ogre holding them. They don't know that. We could say like, oh, we found that out when we killed the spy or something like that, and we could have them help us, and that's pretty much because they deserted first of all, and that's enough to that's a real big trouble. So if they help us get the ogre killed and save those people, that looks good on them, and they might not get in as much trouble as they are right now.
I'm just thinking, guys. The three of us can sneak in much easier than a whole group.
Diversion.
I'd be inclined, honestly, if we can get to the was it Brother John's orchard and if we can get ourselves positioned in a way that we can just, all of us can kind of take the ogre out before they even really know what's going on. We can do that, and then we could just even carry on our way. I'm looking at the map. We could just carry on our way towards Dunlop's Tavern.
I propose that we have the military come help us, and they can occupy the goblins, and then when they get done killing a goblin, they can help kill the ogre. Because for me, their motive would be, we're all in huge trouble. We need something good so we don't get in huge trouble. Because they left without I don't know if they left and told their superior where they were going or what their reason was, but if they didn't, they would need a pretty good reason for this right here. And that's this rescue mission would be that. But if you think it would be better for us three to go in and take out an ogre, I'm fine with that too.
I kind of think, I don't know, that's kind of where my mind is headed, but I also thinking with a bit of a little bit selfishly that that we only have to split the spoils between the three of us instead of between 13 of us, or however many people we take.
Yeah, I mean, those guards are, quite frankly, very slow. I
think the less that the military does around here for Hopkins, the better, because that's going to keep them out of here.
And it gives him a little bit more bargaining power that he's been able to do the things that he needs to do without them.
Okay, well, those guards, they tried to help and they didn't get here quick enough, and that's their own fault.
And I mean, we could set off there. We find the guys. Okay, guys, your way back to Hawkins Farm, and we'll just carry on. Or we go back, how we see fit. If you guys want to go back,
depends on how it plays out.
Yeah, it depends on that point. If we're hurt and we need to rest somewhere, then we'll do that.
Hawkins did give us 200 gold.
Yeah, each.
Old Man Hawkins asks if
each.
Yeah.
Each.
Yeah, each.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, we're loaded.
Fat sack of gold each.
And then we each get 4 more from what our dares had on them. So
woo. That's enough for some candy.
Hawkins asks if there are other terms to the to the agreement that you all made with the hobgoblins, or the proposed agreement.
I suggest you have him bring his own carts and you just transfer the grain from one to another. Because
the devil is in the details, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to lose those carts that way, because that's a finite resource that you don't have much of, that you can't get back easily.
I mean, it could just be as easily that he brings you 2 empty carts when you take him 2 full ones, and then you take the 2 empty ones back with you and fill them up, and then
you would have to do it. So if the military is occupying it, you have to find a way to hide them. But that's not really.
I suggest an exchange off-site.
Yeah, yes. Pretty much.
I will arrange for one of my friendly merchants to handle this delivery, and I think that we will be in the clear.
All right.
I will do my best.
Wow.
Sure you can handle it.
Well,
Hawkins
3 of us.
Thanks you all very kindly for the services that you've rendered to his farm, and insists that if you ever need anything, please stop by, and he will render whatever aid. And he also asks if he has paid you fairly for the services that you have rendered for him.
I don't know the value of money in this world.
It's more money than I've ever seen in my lifetime.
That's also true, yeah.
I do have one question. If you might be able to spare some crossbow bolts.
Oh yeah, there's an armory around, right?
Not a problem.
I could use about maybe 20 crossbow bolts. Refill my crossbow, my bolt case. I'm down to 6. I've got 6 left.
He instructs you to please ask Fausto, and Fausto will hook you up with that, no problem.
Cool.
How about a small brass brazier?
A brass brazier. He kind of raises his eyebrow at you.
Yeah, and it's a elf thing.
Perhaps maybe some incense and herbs.
He says, well, Mrs. Hawkins is tending to Kevin. Why don't you go into the farmhouse and see what she can do? She's more of the person who would know where those things are, if you may. And indeed, in the farmhouse, Mrs. Hawkins is more than happy to give you the components that you need. And she takes you into the basement where there is a brazier if you would like to take that. She is happy for you to have it, and she has several.
Wow.
No, I can pay you for it. I don't want to.
Let me give it to you as payment instead, Vincent. Vincent the Just.
Nice. While they're getting themselves sorted, I'm just going to walk around near the fountain and just talking to any of the young kids that are still around, just letting them know that they're safe and sound here, and I'll hand out a few gold coins here and there to some of the children just to make sure that they're, tell them, give this to your parents to make sure that you help you be well fed, and I'll hand out about 10 gold pieces and all as I'm talking to some of the kids that are around. All these guys are
the ones that you hand gold coins to. Either pocket them quickly or just like run away, staring at the gold coins, quite overjoyed. And of course, the ones who recognize you ask you to please sing for them a song.
Oh, for sure. And as that happens, then I pull out my lute and start singing a song I started working on that just tells our tale of the defense of Hawkins Farm and the battle that at the climax.
They seem very just kind of engrossed by your song as you go through the details that they're quite familiar with. They even kind of share the horror as the suspense builds, and then they're like relieved and celebrating by the end of the song. So they very much appreciate it.
Now, Mr. Hopkins, I have two questions for you. One, how good is that honey from the Feywild? Is it good? Does it have any magical properties?
He says that, well, my wife knows more about the innate magic of things, but it is quite powerful. It is quite good for you too, Silverado.
And my other question is, I don't want any you've given us plenty of money already, but I just want one thing from you. Just one thing.
Oh, name it, it's yours.
I want some nice pants. I want some nice, soft, comfortable pants. I preferably blue if you can. Hey, look, all right. You look at what I'm wearing right now. Look at what I'm wearing right now, Hopkins.
He kind of looks you up and down. Yes, I see.
You see this bathrobe I'm wearing?
Quite rugged.
I'm wearing a bathrobe that's cyan blue. And
he kind of reaches out to feel it. Oh, yes. Because if you recall, Old Man Hawkins is blind.
It's
so
very
can't see your robe.
It's very soft. It's tied together with a little blue sash that came with it.
Okay.
Because I couldn't find any good robes that I could afford. So what I did, I went to a noble's house back in the Three Kingdoms area. I saw him leave, and he had not a good station of guards. So I went in there, and the only thing I could make out with was a bathrobe. So I just took that and ran.
Silverado, if that man sees you in his robe. Oh my goodness. Oh dear.
It's fine, okay? I couldn't nab me some pants, so I need some pants.
He says, well, Kevin used to be about your size, though he's grown quite a bit recently. I was have Mrs. Hawkins look. She's quite busy. Let me have a look here. And he kind of goes into the room that Kevin uses. He comes out with 3 pairs of pants that he thinks will fit you.
Woo! I take them all.
He's happy to give you these pants. One is like a burgundy red. The other, you had said blue, right?
Yeah.
He's got a pair of blue pants, but they're very pale blue.
Blue, pale.
Little faded. The red burgundy are in the best shape, and then he also has, just some brown cotton trousers for you.
Brown cotton I'm just gonna say pants. I'm handing out money to children and making them happy. I'm getting a brazier for my magic. Give me some pants. That's what I want.
Indeed.
I almost forgot to, while I'm talking with Mrs. Hawkins, I'm also going to pull out the great sword that we got from our dares.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to ask her, I'm going to tell her, I can do a little bit of magic, but I don't know much about magic. I can definitely sense that there is some magic in this weapon, but I don't know what it is or what it does. Is there any chance that you could maybe have a look at it and see if you can decipher what it is?
Oh yes, Vincent, I'd be happy to. And she kind of adjusts the compresses on Kevin's forehead. Kevin is still sleeping, and she lays the sword on the table and turns her focus to it. Shortly thereafter, she says, "Yes, it is much like. Do you know when you bless someone, you give them the blessing? It is like that for war."
Familiar with it. Okay.
So, yeah, it's basically like a creature can add a D4 to its roll. When the magic of this sword is used, essentially.
It's a great
Got
sword.
it.
It's a great sword.
Mm. Didn't?
And did she give me I know she gave me the brazier. Did I get any incense and stuff from her as well? Or
Yeah, she has whatever you would
Okay.
need, and then if you guys can make, take like a reasonable amount that wouldn't be considered taking advantage of them, and then make advantage or make note of how much that you have for future, because you never know when you'll be able to find more. So
Okay.
I gotta put down my pants in my inventory. Didn't we get something magical too from that last dude who had held Kevin hostage, or did I misremember that?
Oh,
I
it
don't
was
think
just that
so.
was the family sword that we returned.
Oh,
yeah, the Hawkins family
Okay.
sword that Kevin kind of accepted a little bit with a little bit of lackluster there.
So my spell calls for 10 gold worth of material components to be burned in the brazier. So I
And
probably
that's-
got what, like 3 uses worth
Sure, that's to summon your familiar.
for my familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay.
About 30 gold of components.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a mix of herbs, incense, and charcoal.
Okay. So I
Alright.
understand that it makes the most sense to track components just kind of by gold cost typically.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then like if you need a specific component, we'll probably need to actually obtain that specific component, like
The eye of a monster, or like
Yeah,
a
no, it's
scale
more like
from a
just like
dragon.
It's more like you need like a diamond that's worth 100 gold pieces.
Yeah, like
Or a pearl,
Right.
stuff like that.
yeah, and those I don't believe will be consumed upon use, so those will be like reusable. But
Right.
so if there were spells that we needed those for in the past that you've already used, you can probably just act like you have those components on hand. That would be fine.
Well, if we
Um,
have, if you have an arcane focus, that'll take the place of any material components unless they're consumables or if they have a specific gold cost. So
did the dwarves leave yet?
No, the dwarves are might be there for a little while. If you recall, they returned
They were pretty
because
hurt up.
yeah, and their main reason for returning was that Thragnown was too injured for the journey to Dunlop's Tavern. So a few of them were kind of felled in battle, though they survived, and so more than half of the company is quite injured.
I'll go up to
Humanalda is the main fighter that fought on their behalf to regain
Yeah.
Thragnown's honor.
Right.
I go up to Humnalda and I say, "Well, that was a fight and a half. God,
It was, man.
that was a long ordeal.
Oh, yes, and I believe we did our part. And she
Yeah, you
looks
certainly
to Brokov
did.
and Boruli and just is kind of like appreciative of the company that she still has.
I must say, you did good out there, for sure.
Strodrake is kind of passed out there. He said, I blasted those bastards with some missiles, but
Yeah, you
got
did.
me. They shot me early, so I hope that I did some good.
Oh, you did some good, all right. Any bit helps. I was wondering, where's Dateta?
Oh, she's just getting some water. She'll be right back.
Ah, yes. I was
Appears shortly.
hoping I could learn. Well, this might be a little like a stereotype I'm about to say right now, but I have no idea where else to go. I know dwarves drink a lot, and if you have seen me around recently, I've been drinking a lot out of this wine skin. If you want some, you can have some. And I was wondering if I could if you any of you knew how to brew your own, because I wanted to get into that, you know, so I don't have to keep buying wine and all that stuff.
Deathetta takes the bottle from you and smells it, and then takes a drink and says, "This is very good wine.
It is, yeah.
It has the symbol of Brother John's orchard."
That was a gift from Hopkins for a favor I did him.
She says, "We drink mead. It is not quite so nice as this, but a lot cheaper, you know."
Well, cheap alcohol goes a long way when you're trying to get sloshed.
Well, as you know, the place that we're from is called the Dunlop's Tavern, so as you can imagine, Cousin Dunlop is one of the finest brewers around.
I was hoping that I was able to make some good old fashioned moonshine just out there without having to, deal with any cities or people wanting to stop it or anybody saying it's too dangerous. It's only worked once.
You better talk to Dunlop or maybe even Brother John. The brewery is like a fine art that not a lot of people know about.
Well, I'm willing to learn. Thank you for the people I should go talk to. I'm gonna go.
Deatheda says, "And how do you like those bombs earlier? Pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Too bad
pretty
we
good.
don't get to use the trigger, but maybe next
That's
time."
all right. That's all right. If you guys want to take a couple, it's fine, and use your fair share.
She suggests that she will dig up the mine, essentially the mines that were not used, and she's happy to take a couple. Would you like to keep some of these bombs that you've created?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I'll take 3. Because we made 6, so I suppose
you guys might need a wagon soon.
I was gonna say they're pretty big, right?
We got jugs, right?
Maybe we should get maybe we should maybe buy a pack. What they had ox, right? They had oxen, yeah.
Or a magical bat.
If you recall, the beasts of burden were commandeered by the army, so unfortunately,
that's right.
Any beasts of burden around here.
There you go. I wondered if we're making our way to Dunlop's Tavern, I wonder if it's worth traveling with the dwarves. I'm not sure how long they're going to be holed up here.
We would have to make a stop to the Ogre and help take that out, but
they're probably going to be here. But I wonder if, in that case, if we went and came back, if they'd be ready when we got back.
I turned to Wamalda and it's like, hey, we might be looking to go towards Dunlop's Tavern soonish. We kind of have some loose ends to tie up here. We have to go kill an ogre and save some guys, and after that, we might look like we could go to the tavern.
Oh, you're going to Dunlop's Tavern then?
It feels like the natural step. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna teach me, or hopefully teach me how to brew.
Yes, we would like to get back there as fast as possible, but. Tragnan was badly injured, so we did not think that we could make the trek. But perhaps with 3 strong men like you by our side, it might be a trip that is more possible to make.
Actually, you know what? I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I head on over to Miss Hopkins, who's probably tending to Kevin right now.
Yes, she's still in the farmhouse.
Miss Hopkins? I kind of knock on the door frame.
Yeah, no problem. She'll admit you or open the door for you.
I have a question for you, Miss Hopkins. You know that honey we used earlier, that honeycomb that we used to help Kevin here out.
Yes, and she holds up the jar that's next to Kevin's bedside.
It has healing properties, but you use it in a spell, correct?
Yes, Silverado is a very, very complex spell. I'm quite surprised it worked for me.
So, what would that honey be able to do on its own? Like, would it be able to heal or help people heal faster, anything like that, or is it just like really good honey?
I don't know. It does have innate magical properties, but I've always used it with other things. It is so valuable. I would not just eat it, but perhaps it would do some good if you did.
There was these dwarves we were hoping to head out with, and one of them's injured. So I was thinking maybe I could try to use the honey and maybe heal him up some bit.
She takes a deep breath. Which of the dwarves? I know that some of them aided in our defense, so perhaps we do owe them.
Currently, Thrognown was originally the injured one. He was pretty heavily beat, and Strongdrake, who's the wizard, was shot, but he's managing okay. I'd say probably just Thrognown.
She says, I cannot believe they have not come to me already. Where are they? And she asks for you to show her to them.
Just want to follow me and I'll lead you to him?
The dwarves seem a little bit embarrassed to meet the eyes of Mrs. Hawkins at first. Perhaps they're still embarrassed that they abandoned the farm when they knew the impending doom. But Mrs. Hawkins reassures them that they have regained their honor by returning and fighting, when it was necessary, and she is able to render magical aid to Thragnown and Strodrake, who are injured, but she is able to bring Strodrake around very well, so that he just has kind of like a bandaged wound, but feeling pretty much 100%. Thragnown, however, is also quite exhausted. So although she is able to tend to him and lend her magic, he still is quite exhausted, although faring much better. So that seems like a pretty good idea.
Oh, even if we don't go with you, I hope this helps.
Hunalda says that. Trying to. I have notes about what accents to use, so I try to keep them from all blending to be, into the same accent. But so, Hunalda says, "Yes, we'll go with you right away when you are leaving. We would like to get back to the tavern as soon as possible. Thank you, Mrs. Hopkins. Thank you. We're forever in your debt." Mrs. Hawkins seems to have brought the dwarves back to a state of health where they're willing to risk traveling. Before they only have a few people who are like combat hardened or whatnot. With the addition of you three, the number of their combat hardened doubles. So they probably feel a lot more confident traveling with you, even though you have a stop to make along the way. They imply that they would not want you to have to return all the way to the farm just on their behalf. But if you're planning on coming back, they will await your return.
Would you be okay with a warg coming along? Because I have a warg now.
Nalda seems to think you're kidding at first, and then says, "Well,
here, boy."
Oh, I suppose you'll just need to keep it in check then.
Mm-hmm. Might eat us, but whatever happens.
Well, we'll be careful then, okay? And
let's just get it drunk enough so it can't do anything. Let's get a baby warg drunk.
Do you have a leash for your warg?
No. I don't have anything for this warg.
Is it just still in the stables? Just sleeping?
I haven't gone back to it. I haven't woken it up or anything. So it's just wandering around the town somewhere.
Okay.
Probably should have kept better track of it.
Oh, Silverado.
It's fine. It's fine. If I find out that warg has hurt somebody, I'll punch it out. I'll knock that warg out.
Well, and as you are remembering your warg, you hear a little scuffle behind you and the growling of a warg as it is trying to take a piece of bread from a child.
I get a running start and I just kick it right center mass.
What?
Down boy.
Okay.
Down boy.
Okay. That's pretty savage, man. The warg howls in pain and whimpers, hunkers down on the ground.
And I pick it up in my arms and I start petting it and soothing it. It's like, it's okay. Just don't eat people's food, please. God. Like a child.
Wow.
It seems slightly frightened, but it definitely knows who the boss is.
Look, you're mine now, okay? I'm your owner. So what I do, what I say goes, all right? I know you can't understand me, but...
Will you make a handle animal check?
Go ahead.
Yep. Wait, hold on. I have to find it. 6.
Oh my goodness.
Same as before, actually.
Yeah, you and this warg are not getting along very well. Okay.
Wow.
Quite a gift here from Condrazul.
Yes, problem child.
I would like to
My finest warg. It's just like the front.
I'd like to take a minute to kind of way maybe into one of the stables or something where I'm sort of away from everyone else and pull out that brazier and some incense and cast my ritual.
How long does the ritual take to cast?
The spell, well, oh crap. Okay, so the spell takes an hour to cast. So if I'm doing it as a ritual, it adds another 10 minutes. So it takes an hour and 10 minutes.
Okay. What are you trying to summon?
Well, I figure I would probably kind of just playing into my character's history and everything and his lack of knowledge of what exactly he is. Probably would be trying to summon a very basic form of a what would he try to summon? Probably trying to summon like a raven. But instead it's gonna be an imp that pops up.
Nice.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So you're attempting to summon yourself a raven?
Yeah, I'm summoning my familiar, and I'm thinking that I'm summoning him in the form of a raven, but that's not what I get.
That is most unfortunate. And at the conclusion of your ritual, as the smoke clears, there is the scowling face of an imp, a vicious little winged demon.
Okay.
Not a raven.
This is not. Did I do something wrong here? I'm like looking at my components, seeing if everything's lined up. Where did you come from? Okay.
As you are looking furiously, trying to figure out what has gone wrong, again you hear the deep-throated laughter in the back of your mind.
Awesome.
The imp is of course receptive to you, but it seems quite bewildered and confused itself, as though it has just been ripped out of its existence and thrust into yours.
I'm just gonna, because I'm not sure what's happening here, I'm gonna kind of test it for a moment. I'm gonna close my eyes and try to channel my senses through the imp, and which of course does work, and I see myself looking back at me basically, and then just snap back out of it and be like, okay, I guess you're it. Do you I can't come walking out here with a
Can I walk into the stables at this moment with my warg?
Vincent, when you took on the senses of your familiar, you've it's almost like a distorted vision of reality. You see things as they are, but I don't know, like blurry, like kind of like a dream state. And then you hear a deep voice offering confirmation that yes, Vincent, this is it. And that is when you're attempting to look through your familiar.
Okay, I'm gonna snap back out. Like, okay,
Vincent.
Oh,
Vincent, Vincent, you in here?
Yeah.
Silverado has found you.
I'm gonna snap and put him away in his little pocket dimension. Just dismiss him.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just. Are we ready to go? I was just taking a little nap.
How do you control this warg?
And I hate to say it, but as you try to dismiss this imp, it doesn't happen right away. So as you're having this conversation with Silverado, it takes you like a little bit of your attention to banish this thing. So Silverado will probably get the perception that you're a little bit distracted here.
Yeah. What? The warg? Yeah. Did you feed it and maybe stop hitting it?
I was told to show it who's alpha, okay? And I
don't.
What you want? You want to take care of the warg? You can take care of the warg.
No.
You want a warg?
No.
What? You don't have any other responsibilities? Come on, take it.
That's fair.
No. Have you seen Xandyr around?
Oh, yeah, he was handing out money to children earlier.
You can probably hear me walking around playing my guitar, playing my lute.
That sounds about right. Yeah, good luck with the dog. And I just pat him on the back and I go find Xandyr real quick. And
Man, that was weird.
Hey, Xandyr, do you have a sec?
Always.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you come with me for a minute?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna take him like into the stables back there. Be like, so
Can I stealth?
something. Yeah, I mean,
Can I make a stealth roll to hide in this in the stables?
Sure, go ahead.
A 15.
I
believe
your
that
warg
beats-
begins slobbering and gnawing and gives away your position.
I should mention my passive perception has gone up to 16 since we leveled.
Oh, damn.
Just for
You definitely hear a Silverado over there with his warg.
Shut up.
So, having discovered Silverado, you guys can
Silverado,
probably find
go
him.
ahead and come out. It's fine. It's
Damn,
fine.
I
I'll talk to
hate-
both you guys.
I
Listen,
hate this dog.
Hey man, at this point we've slaughtered
No.
goblins and hung them from
It's fair,
from
yeah.
windmills.
I've done some pretty savage things.
should probably keep you guys both in the loop here before we start traveling. Something weird is happening.
Something weird?
Yeah.
It's the kind of conversation that usually your parents have with you, or
No.
Oh, I remember that one. Oh, yeah.
That no. My I've been hearing things.
Oh. All right.
Yeah. Here's the thing, and I don't want to. This is
That's
very
not
weird.
weird.
This is very weird for me because I don't really. No, you guys deserve to know. The abilities I have, the powers that I possess, they came to me.
Sure, you want to tell them, Vincent? You hear this voice in your head.
Do we hear it?
You do not know. Only Vincent will hear that.
I definitely visually react to it though. Like you can.
Like he's in mid thought, and all of a sudden he like turns, looking somewhere, and
And
okay. Here, let me just explain this to you. You guys have heard of familiars before, right? You understand the
sure,
concept.
yeah.
One has a little,
sure. It's
little
like wizard's pets and things.
exactly. Okay, so it's something I've learned how to do, and I thought that it would be something handy for us to have. You know,
for sure.
of course, right?
Yeah.
So I thought maybe a little fey cat to follow us around or something like that. Something to match with the the dog. A little dichotomy and the
Yeah. I get it.
Sure.
I get it. Yeah.
Here's the problem though.
Mhm.
So I tried to summon a cat, right?
Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna bring them out.
The imp appears.
Just a second. I'm gonna pull up a picture of an imp so I can.
That's a what
Demonic
that?
little winged creature, like an evil
That's-
fairy.
That's
Vincent, your
That's-
cat has wings.
Yeah, and a
Horns.
scorpion tail, and yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I was never a cat person. This seems much more useful.
I
Probably-
mean, I will agree with that. I mean, but
I don't know what you.
it seems odd though, right? Like,
It's different, but I mean, it just seems like the way things have been going for us lately.
Yeah, weird
Yeah.
stuff happening all the time.
Yeah.
Goblins, intrigue, decision killing stuff, little demon
voices in our
thing,
heads, all kinds of things like that.
Yeah. It's
Crazy.
If you're worried about judgments, man, you're in a safe place with among the three of us.
I've been hearing laughter.
While that is a little concerning, I'm not going to judge you for it.
Okay. So I don't know what's going on. This is weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
when,
Life is weird.
Wow, your friends don't seem to have any problem with this. That's pretty awesome.
You know, do you know
Yeah.
who I am? You know what I've experienced in my young age of elfhood? All right, look.
Now, I would say, question for the DM.
Yes, please.
With my connection to my familiar and everything, I would have sort of would I have at least some sort of like an innate understanding of like an imp's capabilities and what they can do.
Yes, I feel like you know kind of what you've gotten. I do feel that way, yeah.
All right. So I'll be like, well, one thing I think would be handy with us having this little guy around. And I kind of look at him, I was like, I guess I should name you. Do you have a name?
The thing does not respond to your request for a name. It looks at the company that you're in, and it raises its eyebrows at you as if to affirm that you wish it to answer.
It's okay. These two are friends.
Rollo.
Rolo.
love it.
That's a good name.
Rollo, take no offense to this, but I think your current form might not be acceptable to a lot of people. Maybe we could fly a little under the radar. And I'm going to have him use his shape changer ability to polymorph into a raven.
Look, man.
Hey,
I don't.
He doesn't
I don't-
object, or it does not object.
I don't understand why. I
Maybe
don't know
just have
why.
him sit on my shoulder.
I don't know why Xander's not freaking out right now. I know why I'm not freaking out right now.
I'm freaking out a little bit, guys.
Oh, don't freak out. It's fine.
I don't know, man. Maybe I should be freaking out.
I'm not.
Oh, seems
There's
just to
something
be the
about
way
it.
things go right now. It's all good.
It's been going like that my entire life. Some random stuff happens to me out in the woods, man. city.
Would I be able to make a roll just because I've kind of been picking up little bits of information about everything all across of all the walks of life to see if I might know anything about what this could be and what could be going on with Vincent?
Yeah, will you make me a knowledge arcana check, please?
Arcana, okay. I thought you'd say like one of the lore ones. I actually have Arcana though. Where'd my skill? I just picked up Arcana when I leveled.
Nice, very nice. Somebody with
See
some
what I-
knowledge finally.
Yes, all of us are dumb.
This appears
I rolled
to,
17. Sorry.
Vincent seems to have summoned for himself an imp. And you know generally what an imp is.
Okay. Yeah. So does Vincent? You don't sure what this creature is that you have? Because it looks just from some of the experience I've had and the readings that I've done and stories I've heard, you've got yourself an imp.
Yeah, man.
And
Okay. Got a little devil creature.
I think they're little literally little devils. But he's on your side, so it's all good.
I mean, he seems to be.
But
Yeah,
I trust him because of the
He seems to
name
be
alone.
he seems to be on my team.
Yeah.
And he's. I mean, I feel the connection that I've read about as far as like the connection with the familiar, and I have that sense with it. I can see through his vision, like his senses. It seems like I just don't understand.
I encountered a magician in a village way back when, like 200 years ago, about. And he was doing his little magic act and all that stuff. And it's like, oh, cool, he's a wizard. He's showing magic off. And it was a village full of like common folk, right? It was just a bunch of humans farming and all that stuff before all this stuff, before bad things happen, essentially. And I mean, like, I haven't seen many magic users in my life, so I don't know what was going on. But what you're describing right now sounds like that man before. So I don't know how he used to do those tricks that he did before, because he had a little like God, what was that? What was that animal? It was like a mockingjay or something, and it would change. And I was like, that's a lot of magic stuff that you had to do. And well, I mean, he seemed to be a pretty all right. I didn't get to know him personally, but he seemed to be all right. So personally, I think you're in the clear. I think you're totally okay and nothing's bad's gonna happen to you.
Okay.
Well, on that
Did
note,
disappear though, that guy. I don't know what
on
happened.
that
to him.
note, do we want to go ogre hunting? And
Yes.
guys, we've been talking. Guys, we were talking. Silverado, you were talking to those dwarves, right?
Yeah,
They're heading back to Dunlop's Tavern.
Yeah, we can hitch a ride with them. They'll wait for us when we do the ogre stomping.
So do they want to travel with us, and maybe we could kind of set up a camp, and then we'll go off and see if we can liberate the Fausto guys. And then when we go back and carry on, as opposed to having to come back here.
Yeah,
I think
they
Probably the best option.
specifically mentioned that. Yes.
It's not too far from here.
No sense of direction. So
we'll maybe with that we'll go and hook back up with those dwarves. It's
Samalda, Tharadoon,
Winalda,
Tharadoon's a totally different thing.
Tharadoon
Tharadoon in the goblin.
We just made up six new dwarves. Humanalda is Thragnown's wife. They're the leaders of
the burly woman that helped us fight, right?
Yeah, big burly girl.
Strodrake is the magician / wizard who was injured during fight. And then Boruli and Brokoff were essentially like the muscle. And then Deatheda is the gem expert and the one that helped you rig up the bombs.
Right on. And it was Thragnown?
Thragnown, yeah. He would be the original leader with his wife, Humanalda.
He's the one he's okay, but he's moving slow.
Yeah, he's not able to fight or, really do much of anything. He'll need to rest to recover his strength, probably for a few days.
I'd say
one thing I did want to make sure I did before we left is I want to get that whistle back from Craigley. if he's still around.
Oh yeah, that
just
would
in
help with the
case.
warg.
Just in
Yeah.
case. Yeah.
Oh wait, here I still have one.
There you go.
Oh cool. Yo,
Yeah,
that's
I'll
gonna be
give
really
that
useful.
Yeah, I'll give that to Silverado.
This thing is
There you
really
go.
disobedient.
Yeah. And then I'll grab the other one just to have. You never know.
I don't know how to control this thing, guys. I need help. Plus, I
And then,
still have not named it.
And I'll just briefly explain to the dwarves what our idea is. If we can travel together north, we'll set up a camp. We can go out. We'll kind of head off and try and find this ogre, or it's at the orchard, right? Brother John's orchard.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was in the orchard.
Yeah, and then once that's taken care of, hopefully we liberate these the captives. They can head their way back to Hawkins Farm, and we'll carry on to Dunlop's Tavern.
The dwarves are happy to journey with you, and they're thankful that you'll be there to help protect them. They're interested in getting to Dunlop's Tavern as soon as possible, so they're happy and anxious to leave with you towards Brother John's as soon as possible. That would be one of probably the preferred route to Dunlop's Tavern at this period in time would be up that river, and then probably after the
cut through
first
that
peak.
pass?
Yeah, because to go east of there, where that kind of dark-looking river canyon is, that's where the river was pulled from the ground, and there's just kind of like rumors of horrors and terrors in that area. So,
Right. So you basically can take that river north straight through straight between those mountains, and then make hang an east to Dunlop's Tavern from there.
exactly.
Cool.
That
works
so
out.
is there anything else you guys would like to do at Hawkins Farm to kind of tie up your time here, and then before you head on your way?
I'll fill up my water skin, and maybe we can get some food to take on to have on our route. I don't know if there's traveling rations or a couple loaves of bread or whatever it is that might help.
Yeah.
Yes, Mrs. Hawkins gives you each rations for 1 week. Enough rations. This is like I forget the name of that elven bread in The Hobbit that they have.
Oh, whey bread.
Lambus bread. My son and I were watching that this morning.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's similar to that, just like a very dense, nutrient-rich bread. It tastes okay, and that'll last you about a week each as far as rations go. Old Man Hawkins brings to you, Silverado, the bottle of wine he had promised.
Oh yeah.
And he brings 3 more with it. He says, "I noticed that you fight better when you've had the spirits in you."
Oh yeah. I'm a lot more reckless. It's honestly not a good habit.
He says, keep it under control. These are the finest vins from Brother John's vineyard. You wouldn't do better to drink anything else.
Well, I'm probably gonna destroy my lifespan by about 500 years with this drinking habit I'm developing. But
Well, perhaps the gods will smile on you for putting it to good use.
Dunesmere, he up there.
And so I suspect with that, then we will be ready to travel on from the farm.
Do we want to give away the dog?
Oh, bring him.
Okay.
Up to
Man,
you.
see, okay, like as a DM, I thought that warg was the coolest gift.
I know. It was a passing thought.
I'm like, you're about to have this huge mount, maybe when it comes to maturity. That it's like, well,
In
how
the
long
meantime,
will
it's
that
another
be?
body, right?
It is another body, yeah.
Fight for it.
I know, it was a passing thought when we first met up with that wolf, and I was like, oh, it's cool, it's a wolf, I'll be a dog. And I was like, no, I should give it away. Because I didn't know what I would do with a
Well,
dog.
I wouldn't want to
anyway.
offend Condrizzle either. You might want to keep that in mind.
Yeah,
He did say
I
this
know.
was one of his
Yeah.
finest thoroughbreds.
And he gave me the angriest one.
So I'm down to continue the adventure, but I need to take a quick rest stop for like 5 minutes. If you guys want to do that, we can
Yeah,
come
that's
back
great.
and finish
Sure.
up
Yeah,
the
yeah.
session.
That's great.
Sure.
All right. Sounds
Right
good.
back. Yeah.
What do we want to name the dog?
welcome back, everybody. We should be situated, and we're going to continue with the journey here. The heroes have just decided to strike out in the direction of Brother John's vineyard to address the goblin and ogre problem there. The plan being to dispatch of the ogre so that the goblins also kind of retreat and just scatter. This idea was proposed by Condrazul, your hobgoblin ally, and you all have decided to take this task upon yourselves, rather than leave it to the hands of the military or the people who have abandoned the military, the deserted. And rather than leave it to them to handle, you are going to make sure that this gets taken care of, and that the people here are seen through this time of need and left in safety. So the dwarves are happy to accompany you and thankful for the solution that you have provided them in getting back to their homelands. As you travel, they describe the nature of Dunlop's Tavern, which is come to being known as West Wall Station for its military importance. And the wall it refers to is the Wall of Anam, which is basically a great wall of frozen water that has kind of collected as a result of the disruption caused when the Titan pulled the river from the earth. So it created this kind of strange landmark, and they're explaining to you how demons are coming from this canyon that was made by the upheaval of this river. They also explain how the giants and titans have not been seen for over a week. Their scouts have not reported any sightings of giants, or of course the Titan. They have various other things to talk about regarding that area. Mostly they have the military kind of sleeping outside the city, going on different campaigns and whatnot, trying to secure the region's mountains. They explain that the hobgoblins have a strong fortress in the mountains west of Dunlop's Tavern. That's something that you all are kind of privy to already, having Condrazul had already explained to you that they're holed up kind of in the Broken Shell Valley is where their fortress is, or where their encampment is. So these are some, just some basic information that you're able to get off of these dwarves as you travel. And as you kind of come into the area where the vineyard is, your travel hasn't seen any other travelers. So far it has just been you and the dwarves walking, as the day turns into the evening here. And Brother John's vineyard will be most of a day's walk. So evening will come and you have not yet arrived. You would gauge yourself to be perhaps 3/4 of the way there.
Well, I mean, did we take a rest? Are we like resting for the night? Or has that not happened yet?
What do you guys think? I'd leave it up to you all.
I mean, we still got a little ways to go. I think maybe setting up camp might not be a bad idea.
Sorry, Xandyr, you're muted.
Thanks, Story. I was gonna say I might try and use some survival skills, see if I can find us a safe place if we're that we might be able to camp where we may be out of sight. We don't know if these goblins have patrols or scouts or whatever they're doing they hold up Brother John's vineyard, right? I thought maybe I could try and find us a safe place to camp where we might be advantageous and something like that.
All right, would you make a check for that?
We'll try.
We talking nature here, or is that what you're thinking? Or
I was thinking survival.
oh,
Survival.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. Not great.
It's decent.
Not horrible.
Well, you discover what is a bear's den and wisely stay away from there, and find a good place to rest for the evening.
Cool.
It appears to be, out of sight from travelers. You find a few small, low-hanging trees to kind of set up camp in.
Nice.
There's some underbrush.
That sounds good.
I take
There
my.
are-
Go ahead,
I take
Xandyr.
my-
I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say there are 6 or 7 of us if we want to figure out a way of setting up watches through the night.
Yes, you're with 6 dwarves, if I remember correctly. I'll double check, and then there are the 3 of you.
Cool.
So you have 2, and then I'm sorry. Go ahead, Silverado. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna take my warg out and hunt,
Oh,
so
cool.
it can eat
Cool.
and not be mad at me anymore.
Okay, well, I imagine you fashioned a leash of sorts out of a rope, maybe by now.
Oh, I have rope. Yeah, I can
Okay.
do a leash.
That would make sense, I think. So as you hunt, maybe what, animal handling and survival?
Sure, why not? Let's
Right.
do it. Let's do survival. 13. Okay.
Okay.
Animal handling. 15. All right.
Well, this
Both
beast
decent.
has been unruly so far, and I don't know. From my experience with dogs and trying to kind of domesticate them, the dog that I had would just bite you whenever you came into the room that it was in. Not hard, but enough so that when you left the room, you're a little bit sore. So until this point, whenever you're interacting with the warg, it kind of wants to have its mouth on you, which was a very strange kind of sensation or situation at first. But you realize that that's just kind of a nervous habit of this animal, and you find a big piece of bark to put in the warg's mouth, and it just seems contented by that to just gnaw on this piece of bark as it trots by your side, and you guys try to hunt together. And you'll find that the warg is a much better hunter than you. Although it is awkward off the line, once it starts moving, it's very fast. And it's able to track down a jackrabbit and kill the rabbit.
All right. And do wargs prefer meat just raw, or would they think that it would be better cooked?
This warg is eating the rabbit that it has caught.
So there's no chance of me even doing anything.
Might be a little dangerous to try to get that rabbit from that warg, but
I just pet it while it's eating. Hopefully it's not going to lash out at me.
it
Hey,
kind
man,
of
but it's not
growls a
gonna eat
little,
you.
but accepts your presence as its alpha.
And it's
Sorry.
not gonna eat you.
Sorry, boy.
Right.
Oh, if it's got Svill, I'll return back to camp.
The
I
warg
can-
was able to catch something. Game is pretty scarce here in the northern farmlands here, although it becomes a little bit more fertile as you head into the foothills here. As you remember, too, Condrazol had made comments about there being a scarcity of game in the region.
We always have those bears we can eat.
So
We get desperate.
Right.
I picture that you all, bed down for the evening. The dwarves are quite exhausted. A lot of them are still healing up, and especially Thragnown is kind of waylaid. Humnalda tends to his wounds. They are man and wife, so they have the closest relationship of these dwarves. Strodrake is somebody you find that they have hired. The magician wizard that is accompanying them has been hired for his magical powers, essentially as a hired hand. And the two grunts are basically relatives of Thragnown, like cousins, who don't have any special skills, but they seem solid and friendly.
So we want to set up some watches, you guys.
I
There's
only-
9 of us. We could do it. We could have three watches.
I only need 4 hours, so
Okay. You
I
can
would
stay,
be-
you can stay awake until the end of the the tail
Yeah.
end of the second watch.
wherever you want me.
Four of the dwarves are good for keeping watch, and Strodrake and Thragnown seem a little bit too out of it. So those
Okay.
other 4 would probably be up to the task, though, and almost insisting that they keep watch.
Sure. Okay. We could have. If we did it in 3, is it possible to do it in 3 shifts? I'm not sure. Let me think. There's 3 of us and 4 of them. Do we do it in 2s?
Well, Silverado only needs 4 hours to like meditate or whatever.
Yeah, and then
Right on.
I'm fully good.
So if he can take 4, I mean, if that's okay with you,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the 4 dwarves can take the other half, and you and me can get some sleep.
I like it.
I was thinking I would just stay up like all night. Like as soon as I get back from hunting, I would just go into a trance, and then as soon as I'm done, I just stay up
And I
and
guess-
keep watch.
And I guess Silverado's got a warg that can probably smell
Yeah,
anything come
I'm
near it.
basically a ranger.
The warg seems to not. It seems to become a little bit more awake at night. So almost like it likes hunting at night. It likes kind of being up at night with you.
Right on.
So
Yeah, I like that idea, Vincent. I like the way you think.
the dwarves are happy to accommodate that. They feel like they owe you for helping them, on their way here. So they're more than happy to keep watch.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get some sleep then.
Sounds good.
Good night, everybody.
The night passes almost uneventfully, except for you recall at one point, perhaps there was a large beast breathing heavily nearby, but it passed. It wasn't enough to rouse anybody from their sleep, and Deathada, who was keeping guard, said that she was just about to wake everybody, but then the thing passed. And so it is morning time. Silverado, in the early morning, you're able to spend a little bit of extra time with your warg as this beast is kind of getting to know its new master and what will become its new normal, potentially, unless you re-gift it.
Take this.
So, Brother Jean's orchard will be a few hours travel from here.
In the morning when we get up, while we're just kind of everyone's maybe having a bite or something, I'll kind of take out my drum and give it a little bit of a beat. See if I can recreate the beat that Condrazul was playing on it, and give everyone 3 temporary hit points.
Will you make me a performance check too, please?
Absolutely. Pressure. Not horrible.
It takes a little bit of tinkering around to figure out which plates, coordinate with which pitches, but you can remember the tune that Condrazul plucked out. You can't quite remember the timing of it, but you think you have the melody down.
Cool. Okay. Sorry.
And of course,
Cool.
you feel the magic kind of leave the instrument and
magic
go
within
into the
you.
air, granting aid to your allies.
Cool. So everyone So you said it's for my my charisma modifier. Is that right?
Yeah, whatever you're using for spells. So yeah, your charisma.
There you go. Yeah. Sorry. So everyone gets three temporary hit points.
Yeehaw.
Nice. I like it. With that,
No, we'll keep heading forward.
so I'm assuming the dwarves are going to stay here, and we're going to go and come back.
I feel like we should get a little bit closer, but not so
Okay.
close that they're in sight.
That might
So
not be a
that-
bad idea.
Yeah, so we can just forward and back.
Cool. That's a good idea.
Okay. Vincent, anything
Yes.
to add?
No, I mean, that sounds good. Actually, yeah, I would mention, once we get a little closer, my new little buddy Rollo here, he can go invisible.
Can we call him Delororo? No,
Hmm.
wait.
And is
Do we,
Rollo
He
still
he could
Rollo still
do a
in the
little
pocket
recon?
dimension right now?
no, he's out, but he's in a raven,
Raven.
form
Okay,
right now.
that's right.
I'm not trying to let the dwarves see him as an imp, but
Okay.
don't want to arouse too much suspicion from anyone.
Do you convey that idea to Rollo? That
I
that's
do.
what your wish is? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Rollo seems a little hard to communicate for somebody whose mind you're supposed to be kind of sharing. So, again, another indicator that maybe the spell hasn't acted exactly how you thought it would. But he does seem to take your meaning, if you catch my drift.
Okay.
So you guys are continuing north and west to Brother John's orchard. And as you kind of come out of the farmlands, you see the foothills ahead of you. And you see what is surely the orchard, because you see small encampments in the morning light. Small fires just kind of decorating the road that surrounds the orchard.
Okay.
So you're still some distance off. This would be, as your first catching sight of these small encampments that seem to be kind of surrounding what are well-uniformed trees, well-laid out rows of trees, and vines, grapevines.
Okay. I am going to ask Rollo to fly up ahead, just as a raven, and just kind of circle around and take a look and see, just get a feel for everything. I'm going to, as I send him off, I'm going to put a hand on Xandyr's shoulder. I'm going blind and deaf,
Sure.
and am going to perceive through Rollo's senses.
Cool. So as that happens, I just instinctively am keeping an eye, like almost going into like watchman mode, watching around, just making sure. I want to, no surprises while Vincent's doing his thing.
Okay, will you please both make perception checks?
Okay.
I rolled a 17. Or did I? No, I rolled 11. Sorry. I'm looking at somewhere else.
No worries. I think we have Vincent coming in here.
There's an
Yes.
18.
Well, Vincent, you take the eyes of your raven as it flies into the sky. You see below you the foothills ascending into the snow-covered mountains of the West Headliven. And directly below the raven, you see, and out in front, you see Brother John's orchard. And there's a small community that is essentially surrounded by groves, orchards of trees. And then outside of this grove of trees, or the orchard rather, are paths and roadways. The goblins are stopped at various points along this road and have set up camp. There are also 3 groups or 3 bands of goblins that are marching around the perimeter of the orchard, just in like what would probably take them most of the day to walk around this entire orchard. Very expansive orchard, and then given the kind of hilly terrain, I'd say it would take, you could probably walk around the whole thing twice in a day.
Okay. So I would just convey that to the guys as I'm seeing it, just sort of talking, breaking down what I'm seeing to Xandyr and Silverado.
Xandyr, everything nearby seems to be, nothing seems to disrupt your guys' presence here.
All right. And I'll just ask Vincent, he didn't see an ogre.
No.
As you're looking, you do see a large hulking figure among one of these encampments with the goblins. Upon closer inspection and Xandyr's mention of it, you do spot the ogre. So he is next to like kind of a big tent, a big canvas tent, and you see a few maybe legs or what appear to be legs of people kind of sticking out of the tent. And upon closer inspection, your raven also sees a spit hanging over a fire, and on this spit is a person. The goblins at the fire pit are struggling to make a fire below this person, and the ogre is kind of giving them angry directions.
Okay.
Well, if there's a time, it's now.
So I'll snap back into myself and tell him all of that.
Is there a way that we'd be able to circle around to that particular group and avoid the other goblin groups?
You can pinpoint this group, and you can, head directly for their location. Vincent has seen the location of the patrols, so you would be able to find those patrols when you get a little bit closer as well. You'll probably be able to see them quite easily.
Cool.
So
we have reason to believe that the rest of the goblins will just kind of bugger out once if we take out the ogre.
It's kind of like in a goblin's nature to do that, and Condrazul had also suggested that might be the case.
Yeah.
Cool.
In my opinion, you guys have thoroughly scouted the area and can probably approach this ogre, in a manner that suits you.
Perfect. Are you guys cool with Alpha Strike on the ogre? We'll try and stealth in, and then I don't know if.
We can try to stealth, all right.
Yeah, I think it's our best option.
Okay. And then get in range, and we can just all.
Perhaps, Xandyr, you can turn people invisible now, right?
I can.
So maybe we turn Silverado invisible so he can get in close.
Like it.
You and I can do a little bit of damage from the outskirts.
Yep.
So let Silverado get in close. You and I set up on the outside, and then we just try to burn this guy down as quick as we can.
What does invisibility do?
You just you can't be seen until you attack. Once you attack, you become visible.
What's the range on your guys' magic that you're going to be firing off? We're looking at about 80 feet here, or
I believe Shatter is 60 feet.
Okay.
Eldritch Blast is like 120 feet.
Yeah, Eldritch Blast is 120 feet. Scorching Ray is also a 120.
Okay.
My Hex spell is only 90 feet.
I'll be going, where is it? So Shatter is 60 feet, and then a spell that I haven't had a chance to use yet, which might be a good time, is Dissonant Whispers, which is also 60 feet. Yeah, so I'll need to get into within 60-foot range of this guy.
Okay. So to get to this encampment where the goblins are, there's a trail from the south, and then they're on a larger road that goes west-east, south of the vineyard. So you guys could, just walk up the road straight to them, and you would meet them, or you can, obviously try to move stealthily through the fields, or I picture those being kind of the methods of approach.
Sure. So invisibility will last for an hour. So I might as well just drop it on them right now, so I don't draw any attention to myself putting it on later.
I can sneak up real close then, if that's the case. Oh, my work. I'm gonna leave my work with you guys, because he might give me away.
Sure.
The dwarves would probably be happy to watch the warg while you guys are in battle, of course, too. Hopefully, it won't
I'm
be
happy
any
to
of them.
go in there.
What's that? Vincent? Or Silverado?
I'm happy to go in there invisible and start wailing on him.
Okay. Well, I'll cast invisibility on Silverado are we close-ish, but not in range?
Yes, I picture you guys trying to remain out of sight, obviously, and then they're kind of just at the edge of your sight. So you guys can't quite get a perfect sight on it, as Vincent describes to you, what he sees from the the view of his raven, then you're kind of able to discern what's happening. But the figures are far enough to where they're kind of hard to make out exactly what's what. But you definitely know which general small encampment you guys are directed at. Yeah.
All right. And we're kind of thinking if we can save an extra person, not becoming a meal.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
They won't have time to start a fire if we're attacking them.
Yeah, I picture if you guys move hastily towards them, you get there in what, like 10 minutes or something? I don't move towards things that I just barely see on the horizon very often. So, but I picture it'd be, about that. Like I picture it kind of like you're on the other side of a lake where you can see things that are happening, but if your attention hasn't been drawn to somebody, you'd probably have a hard time picking them out. Sure. But, this would just be over the fields. So,
sure.
Should I wait for you guys, or should I just go straight ahead and as fast as I can? Because I can start attacking the ogre right away, but that seems like a suicide mission.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I would say, if I was you, I would try to get within. Pardon me. I don't know. I'd say maybe within 30 feet of the ogre, and then wait until you see him hit with a familiar blast that you've seen Vincent fire before.
Mm-hmm. All right, that'll be
or
the trigger
hear a
then.
really loud bang from my shatter spell.
I'll be waiting on you guys for the cue.
I'm pretty sure shatter makes a pretty loud sound, which unfortunately may draw attention to us.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have a general plan laid out. The three of you are going to try to sneak up on this kind of like ogre encampment, or the goblin encampment, where the ogre is trying to make himself an early lunch. And so Silverado has been made invisible, and then the two of you are also going to try to sneak up to get into spellcasting range.
That's right.
Silverado, will you make how close are you
Trying
going to try to
30
get to
feet.
this ogre? Try to get within 30 feet? Will you roll a stealth check?
Yes. Did I get advantage since I'm invisible?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
Nice.
Pretty good.
See no evil, hear no evil.
I got a 19. Now you guys are up on the plate.
And will everybody please roll initiative?
All right.
Nice.
I got a 5, which is understandable because I'm waiting.
Hey,
I
15.
got 50. Oh, no, it's Vincent. My roll didn't come through. Oh, there it comes. 12.
Oh, I'm at the bottom. Shame.
That's fine. That works out well.
Vincent, Xandyr, Silverado is the order.
That's right.
Okay.
Is this the guy in the spit roast?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
The ogres moved him off of the fires so that the goblins can try to get this fire started. He's just treating it like it's a barbecue ready to happen. From your position, you see a bunch of men under this tent, kind of tied up, laying on the ground, and there's 2 more goblins in there. Excuse me.
Nice.
So Silverado, or I'm sorry, Xandyr and Vincent, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So 100, I'm going to make the battle maps a little bigger in the future now that I kind of am getting familiar with your tactics. But the edge of the battle map is 100 feet away. So we can count you guys as still 20 feet beyond that if you like. But can you make for me also stealth checks?
Yes.
As you try to get to that position.
Ooh, 17.
Come on. All right. Crap.
It's not horrible.
That's a 3.
Oh, the first one. Oh, shoot. That's
bad.
not horrible.
It's not great.
You rolled 1.
Vincent,
Yeah.
as you guys are getting into the range of where you need to be to cast your magic, you see the ogre look up at you. Its hulking girth just kind of allowing the right perspective as he sees you all sneaking up. Vincent, you would recognize that the ogre has seen you, and that this would probably be your time to strike. I'll put you in magic range at 120 feet.
Yeah, as soon as I like make eye contact with him, I'm just gonna go, ah, crap, and just Eldritch blast him, and then duck, and then dive into the
Good
Oh
ditch.
my goodness, I don't know why it's going weird for me today. Yeah, that's a 7. I don't think that hits.
That
A
will
7?
miss.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna dive in the like into the brush here, and I'm just gonna yell, Silverado, go for it.
Okay.
All right. Well, I have to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Next is Xandyr.
So my spell is a 60-foot range. So I would still need to move in more.
Yes, I have you at 120 feet out, so you have to move 2 squares before you're actually where you are. Pictured on the map.
I would need to move. I see. Sorry, move 2 squares before I'm actually there.
Yeah, it'll leave you like 4 squares of movement left, I think.
Okay. So I would, I can. So I can move myself, I guess. So I can move to there. Is that right? 2, 3, 4. And then that puts me how far to him? 75.
You can move a couple more times.
Before I'm just.
You
Do
can
I
move
want to shoot?
there, and then you
He may not have seen me. He's seen Vincent.
Potentially. He did seem to notice specifically Vincent, but it's hard to say.
Right on. Sorry, this shouldn't be that hard.
No worries. Don't want to get trampled by an ogre.
No, call me crazy. 'Cause I need to get to about here. Yeah, I can double move, I guess, right? I could just use my home.
You
I
take
guess
your
that's
action
dash,
to
right?
dash. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna draw attention to myself, but I'm gonna draw attention to myself anyways. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the stealth cover. I'm here because he's not gonna be able to. With any luck, he's gonna maybe close the gap a little bit.
Probably will.
I'll make my way there and hold. Because they're not going to get to Vincent.
You can hold a reaction if he gets close enough to use the spell.
That's true. Can I do that? Can I hold my action to hit him with a shatter if he becomes?
Yeah.
If he is within 60 feet of me.
If he doesn't, if you don't trigger your reaction, the spell is lost.
The spell is lost. Yep. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait here, and I'll leave the next turn.
Okay. Well, the ogre kind of drops the spit with the man tied to it. Oh! As he hits the ground, and the ogre beats his fists together and shoves one of the goblins as he points at Vincent. 20, 30, 40. And the goblins just kind of go running your direction, Vincent, having been shoved by this giant ogre. The ogre moves up here, looking about. He pulls a javelin from his back. I just want to check my range on here to make sure that I have the proper advantage.
The javelin's probably in range.
At 30 feet.
They're 30 feet, yeah. But he's an ogre.
So I'm at disadvantage here as he throws the javelin at Vincent. And he doesn't seem to have noticed anybody else yet. Oh!
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one to have disadvantage on.
Oh, thank goodness.
That was a natural 20 and then a 2. Yes. What's the second roll?
There's the natural 20. There's a damage for it, which would have been bad anyway.
Yeah, but he has to roll. Yay.
So you take 9 damage from that fat crit of the javelin. Not so fat.
Wait, I thought you said he was rolling with
But it's
disadvantage.
disadvantage,
oh my
though.
gosh. I was just so
Gotta roll
grateful to
again.
see that crit. Darn it. Okay, sorry guys.
That's why we're cheering.
I
Not
know,
this time.
dang. I was like, wait. My apologies. He will make the attack here again.
That's better.
Yeah,
Still
that'll
hit.
Oh, no. I see.
Would have
I
been
keep seeing
better
the
to
damage
take the
roll.
crit.
I know, darn. We'll take
Strangely
11
enough.
damage, huh?
Oh. Okay, so 11 points.
This huge javelin comes soaring
forget
through
your
the
temp.
air, just knocks into you. This thing is like obviously made for a giant creature.
You rolled a
And-
natural 20 and then 19. That's amazing.
I'm
Well
feeling
done.
good, feeling good.
We're due.
From the hut here, two goblins stagger out, looking at each other. One kind of like smacks the other on the shoulder as they look about, trying to decide what to do. Perhaps their orders were to guard the people, and they can't quite think for themselves. Silverado, you're up.
I run up to the back of the ogre, and I just stab it in its back. Hopefully I hit. Let's see.
Hits.
It
This
is
thing
an
is
ogre.
big and slow and
Wow.
almost naked.
That's five piercing damage. And then as my unarmed strike, I just punch the blade in further for a bit of flavor. That also hits for an extra 4 damage.
Wow.
And then I use my key point to do flurry of blows.
So all of a sudden you're using a sword here? What's happening?
What do you mean all of a sudden? I always use a sword.
You always use a sword?
His
Yeah,
first attack is usually a short sword. He usually goes for short sword and then unarmed strike.
Oh, forgive
Yeah.
me.
That's how it's always been.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just be used to it now.
So, and then I'm using a key point to do flurry of blows.
Okay.
So I'm going to do another unarmed strike. Also hits
No way.
for another 4 damage. Those are double ones on those rolls there, by the way. Could have been more.
So
I
it's
lucked
total
out.
5,
I'll count my blessings here.
5.
And
Nine.
because I did a flurry of blows, I now have the disengage action, which means that it doesn't really mean anything because I'm not moving away from him.
But you could and not provoke.
Yeah, I could have not provoked,
Cool,
but I'm
cool.
not going to.
Okay. I believe that'll bring us up to Vincent.
I'll actually just move right here.
Okay.
Okay.
You're pictured 20 feet off of where you actually are, Vincent. So
Right. So I'm going
Nice.
to.
Better. That's a good job, Silverado. Move through that.
Yeah, tank.
Yeah. That's still within range. Okay, so I'm going to cast Hex on the ogre, and then I'll cast. Oh wait, no, I can't do 2. That's fine. I'll do another Eldritch Blast on him.
Boom. Rolls 21.
hits.
7 damage plus. God, I don't know why it's double clicking everything.
2.
So 7 and 2 damage necrotic. And I'll just, for the sake of making our lives easier, I'll move up the 20 feet so that I'm actually in the square that I'm standing on.
Thank you.
You are now on the map.
Now I'm gonna get you. No.
Yeah.
Next up
fool.
is Xandyr.
Nice. Okay. So from where I'm standing, I can see these goblins here, right?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah, and I can see these ogres. So I figure if I can plant my spell right in between them, I can actually hit all 3 of them. It's a 10-foot radius. I'm kind of thinking if I plant my
So
I
if
plant-
it's
That's the way I see it.
that
it's
cool?
right
Oh.
there, you can go 10 this way
yeah,
and then 10 that way.
Because
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
supposed to base it from a corner, right?
from like a I
Yeah,
think
that
so, right?
that makes sense for radius spells
And then
because
and then I'm not going to hit Silverado.
But I think the So I
Oh,
don't
sorry,
think
you mean
you'll
from,
reach
like,
those goblins because I think it originates from a corner, doesn't it?
Oh, I'm trying to, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you won't hit the goblins. You'll hit the.
It'll have like a 4x4 square basically that it can hit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It's like a square. Yeah, I gotcha. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
using the ruler. That's
no,
fair.
it's kind of
That's
strange
cool.
where
I mean,
it originates from. So yeah.
We want to kill the ogre anyway, so I cast Shatter at the ogre, and I'll just.
Is this a new spell for us?
It
The
is.
new spell, yeah.
Cool.
Level 2
He's got that bard magic.
for 14 hits.
And
If
I need
Yes.
to
it's
make a Constitution save.
Constitution save.
He's probably gonna
which is
make it.
which is probably a good one for him.
Do I take half damage if I fail, or is it just
Yeah.
all or
Yeah, half damage if you fail. Yeah.
Which is good anyway. 7 damage is 7 damage.
He saved
Okay. So it'll
No,
take half
no, he
damage.
didn't. Look at that.
a little bit. Cool.
So this thing roars out, having been
Oh, shoot.
surprised by you all.
Oh, that's what I just got. Some.
He's gonna clobber me.
Will that be all from you, Xandyr?
I'm
you-
gonna.
You
Oh,
got
sorry,
any
I am gonna
inspiration?
move. I am gonna move. Am I muted?
No, you're not.
Sorry,
I
I
don't
am
know,
gonna.
Xandyr. I lost audio then. If it's not you. Oh, sorry,
I
guys.
did
I
have
need
a
to change my
message.
batteries real quick. That's me. I'll be right back. One moment.
Got any of that sweet inspiration?
Oh, good call. I totally do.
I feel like I'm gonna need it.
However, what I want to do is wait to use cutting words
Ah, so you
because
can make him not hit me.
yes.
All right,
Is that
I'm
right?
okay with that. Yes.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Only have 23 health.
So, Xandyr, that'll wrap up your turn there?
I just moved. Yeah, I moved.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Some strategical maneuvers here.
Yes.
Tactical movement.
The ogre pulls the great club that's like slung around his neck by this rope. He struggles with it just for an instant and pulls this huge just girth of wood out, and he swings
On.
it at Silverado.
Do it. Do it. No, he doesn't.
Dang it. Okay.
Good at this mind game.
The ogre kind of yells out, having been surprised by Silverado, "Oh, they're here!" And he shouts at the goblins to come help him. The goblins are wielding crudely made scimitars, and they both attack you, Silverado. I assume that will miss. And
Oh, the 19 will hit.
19 will hit. Very nice. And I'm having some trouble catching up here, but it looks like you'll take 6 damage.
I will do that.
And you're able to dodge one of them. Let's see, 30. This one is just trying to maneuver around its huge boss, trying to get to you, Silverado. It kind of stands there waiting for the perfect time to strike. This other one is moving around as well, trying to gain advantage. Drops his sword and pulls his short bow out, kind of like trying to lean around the ogre and take this shot at Silverado. Darn it, I rolled a 10, so I'll miss. Wow, these guys are really caught off guard. A pretty crummy aim.
Right on. That's good.
And then I believe after that is Silverado.
All right. I will.
My mistake.
I will stab. I do my stabby stab in his little belly.
Miss.
Probably doesn't. All right. Well, I'll just punch him in his belly instead.
That'll hit.
Boom.
Ooh.
For yet again, low rolls, man. 4 damage each. At least it's
All right.
consistent.
Hacking
And then I'll
away at
use.
this guy.
And then I can use flurry of blows again, and another unarmed strike, which will hit
Hits.
for 7 damage finally.
Nice.
And then, because of my thing, I'm gonna move 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna move all the way to the backside of them, and no one can hit me because I'm a drunken master.
Nice.
Can you move through their squares?
I moved diagonally. I moved from here to here, and then I just went a diagonal line to
Just
the back
dancing
of them.
between these goblins.
Mhm.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
Well played.
Getting all Jackie Chan on them. Love it.
Mhm.
Vincent, you're up.
Okay. I am going to move. Sorry. I'm going to start moving, get to about here. And I'm going to do a Scorching Ray, which gives me 3 attacks, which will go to these two goblins right here and 1 to the ogre.
Oh, looking at good.
So first roll will be for the ogre.
Okay.
So God, this thing keeps doing that. So I got a 9.
A 9 will miss.
We'll miss him. Then 14 on one of the goblins.
Hit.
And Jesus.
14 again.
Okay, so they both
They both
I don't
hit.
know why
yeah.
it's doing that like that.
They
So
will
just
both
roll.
hit.
So
It's 8 for one goblin.
8 for one and 7. No, 8 and 9.
9.
You
I don't know
drop
why
the
my-
goblins. They just
I don't know why
erupt
my
in
roll
flame.
20 is double clicking everything, but
Yeah, it's all good. I think we got some lag on roll 20 here.
yeah.
But your scorching ray, the goblins erupt in flames and are slain as they're smothered by the fire.
Okay,
Helps
and
me
I'm
out a great deal.
And then I'm going to take the rest of my movement to continue going across to just kind of like tuck down behind these rocks over here. See if I can hopefully maybe get a little bit of cover if I need it.
Okay. And then if that will be the end of your turn, then Xandyr is next.
Nice. So I'm standing there. I look over at the looking at the ogre, and yell, whispering to him, "You're wasting your time. You should just get the heck out of here." And cast dissonant whispers at him. He has to make a wisdom save, or he takes 3d6 and he flees.
You guys are so mean to my monsters. They're all just like erupting in
We're
laughter,
good.
and fleeing.
So
Oh my goodness.
I'll just do the roll here. So he makes a yay. So he takes 4 damage from me. But now he has to flee away from me as best he can, and because Silverado's right next to him, he'll provoke an attack of opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sure if he would move like him. He has to go as far as his movement will let him.
Away from me.
Yeah.
And then I take a stab with my short sword for my reaction.
Oh,
Does not hit.
so close.
Misses. Good try. Good
that's
try.
That's all I can do.
Nice try on the power play.
It was a good power play.
Trying.
Would that be
You
the
got
end of
any-
your turn, Xandyr?
You got any
I'm
inspiration?
just gonna move over here. I'll use my bonus action. I'll tell Silverado that the fires burn within him to unleash them on the ogre and give him an inspiration dice.
So
This
does my
matter-
ogre need to make another save before he can do anything, or is it good to go on
Nope,
its
that's
turn?
it. That's
Nope.
all. Yep.
Okay.
No, he just takes 3d6 damage and flees in as far away from me as he can get.
Nice.
And then he's done.
So
yeah.
he will kind of shake off his how he's been disoriented as your insults really seem to infuriate him. And although he had his best interest at heart, he would probably flee. He just seems to be incensed and cannot forgive this trespass against him. And he wields his great club against you, Silverado.
Take a shot, big man.
I was
Finally.
excited to hit. So I
I'm
believe
at-
you'll take 11 damage.
I'm at 6 health.
All right. The goblins, as you're dancing so quickly about them, they they do have their eye trained on you. The one tries to attack you again with his scimitar.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
Does that drop you?
No, I have 2 health left. If this goblin hits me, I will.
This one begins backing away. It tries to shoot you with its short bow.
No,
Misses.
I'm good.
Where's the rolls? What's your AC, Silverado? Just out of curiosity.
It's 16.
16. Cool.
It begins to think better of what's happening, and it appears to be fleeing.
No way.
No survivors.
Silverado, you're up.
Angry that this big man has knocked out all my blood, as I'm hurt quite bad. I will hit him with my short sword. Does not hit.
This short
Was
sword's
it-
cursed.
Inspiration dice.
What? How much is it? A D6?
D6.
Okay, I'll roll a D6. Hopefully that'll be enough. 3.
Yes.
That'll do
Is
it.
11.
Oh, 11 will do it. Hey, 4 damage. And then I'll punch him in his little tubby tub.
Hits.
12.
I'll do 7 damage. Another flurry of blows, as I do. And I'll do an unarmed strike again. Do more damage. 6 more damage to him.
Well, we just saw the end of this ogre as Silverado's fighting it
Bloodied.
hand to hand here.
Bloody buried alive elf just punches out an ogre. I turn around and the goblin behind me and I raise my fist starting. It's like, you want to?
The goblin takes off, sprinting away as fast as possible. So does the other.
Oh, good. I cannot take another hit. Just kind of rest against the dead ogre. It's like lean on it for a bit.
And you all are victorious.
Good job, you guys.
Ooh. Take a breather, and then I set about to trying to free the men.
Yeah, I'll start untying them.
Well, the one who is about to become lunch is most thankful for your timely arrival. And you have indeed saved all of Fausto's men here. There appear to be
I did it.
10 men still in fair health. They seem to be well enough. Nothing broken, although they are quite hungry. They have not been fed well at all. And that is where we will call it for this session.
Nice.
And we will begin again next week on Monday at about 4 o'clock.
Nice.
So we'll see everybody then.
Awesome.
Alright.
It's great.
I healed you for 4, Silverado.
All right. 6 hit points.